And whereas Morton Marcus has been called one of the most readable and moving poets of our time by Pulitzer Prize-winning poet Charles Simic, and whereas as a teacher of English and film at Cabrillo College for 31 years, Morton Marcus has inspired and influenced countless students. Now, therefore, I, Jeff Almquist, chairperson of the Santa Cruz County Board of Supervisors, do hereby proclaim Morton Marcus as Santa Cruz County's 1999 Artist of the Year, honor him for his significant contributions to the arts and to the community of Santa Cruz County, and thank him for enriching all of our lives with his written word. Thank you very much.
The 17th season of the Game of the Week is brought to you by AT&T Broadband and KRUZ Channel 4 Sports.
Thank you, Joel and Kurt. Well, I talked to Coach Bill Garrison of Aptos High, and he said, hey, every week is a Game of the Week for the Mariners. Last week in a win against Monte Vista Christian, the Mariners set a school record, but perhaps they wish they wouldn't have. 17 penalties for 172 yards. Coach Garrison says, hey, look, we've got to clean that up if we're going to win tonight. Talk to Santa Cruz coach, Coach Faltas. Santa Cruz High has not beaten Aptos since 1993. He says, hey, we're just as good as any other team in this league. Maybe tonight will be the night. Back up to you, Jeff and Kurt. Excuse me, Kurt and Joel.
Good evening, football fans, and welcome. I'm Joel Domhoff alongside Kurt Edwards. We're going to see familiarity will be the name of the game here tonight. Both these teams run similar offenses and defense.
They do indeed, Joel. They both run the fly offense. They both run a basic 50 package defense, which is 5 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and 4 defensive backs. It's going to be a mirror. The only thing you're going to notice different out there, one squad's going to be in that nice Cardinal red, and the other squad's going to be in the white Mariner uniforms. And if these fans are going to want to know, how to run a fly offense, here's a great school they can go to right now. And it's a very simple offense. It's a tough one to read if you've never seen it before.
It is. It involves a lot of misdirection, and we'll see that as the game unfolds. As you can see, Aptos, as Kurt mentioned, in white uniforms with blue trim, despite the fact they are the visiting team. Santa Cruz in their scarlet red. They will kick off here. Back deep to receive for the Mariners. It's number 24, their stud, Dan Stevens, getting ready to kick off for Santa Cruz High. It's number 4, David Esparza, and here we go. Low squib kick. Looks like it'll go out of bounds. It does, so that'll be a penalty. Aptos will take over with good field position. Early mistake here on the special teams, Kurt.
That's one of the things. The special teams in high school, Joel, as you well know, could really make or break a football team. And the one thing you don't want to do is have great or give the other team good field position. Aptos is electing to say, we could have had the ball at the 35-yard line, but they're saying, no. Santa Cruz, back it up 5 more yards. We're betting $1 to a donut that you're going to make a shorter kick this time, or you're going to get it in the hands of our receivers back there. And, of course, Stevens, very, very dangerous, number 24 in white. If he gets his hands on the football, he can go a long ways in a big, big hurry.
Back deep there with Stevens is number 3 for the Mariners. That's Jesse Sambles. In fact, he and Stevens have combined for almost 800 yards rushing this season, 11 touchdowns. So as you said, Kurt, a dangerous duo back there for Aptos. Ball put down now at the 35-yard line. We'll try it again. Again, it's Esparza the kick for Santa Cruz. This one squibs in the same area, but this time it will be picked up by an up man. And that's a nice move by number 25 for Aptos, Brian Stahl. He's still on his feet, close to midfield, cuts back. A fine run that time to open the game for Brian Stahl. So Aptos made the right decision there, Kurt.
They did indeed. Exactly what they wanted to do. They picked up 14 yards by having Santa Cruz kick off again. And Brian Stahl, just a great job of maintaining his composure. And you watched everybody from Santa Cruz get over there. And as soon as Stahl was able to break out to his left, it was, a lot of real estate for the young man.
Ball put down at the Aptos 49-yard line. It's number 8, Dustin Weber, behind center. In motion is Jesse Samples, and we've got a flag before they can get anything going.
A little bit of anxiousness. Motion up front, number 42, Zach Hewitt, tight end on the right side. Jumped, and that's not, this is kind of like those jitters. First time out, you're going to pop off. You know it's either coming your side or you want to deliver a message to the guy in the wrong color helmet in front of you. Jump off and get him. Hewitt forgot it was on 2, not 1.
Weber now looks at a 1st and 15. And again in motion, it's Samples. Give is to Samples right side. Sweep, no room over there. The Cardinal defense swarms to bring him down. Amongst those in on the tackle, number 16, Michael Derland. And he had plenty of help. Little to no gain for Aptos. It'll be 2nd and long.
Great job by the Cardinals. You want to have that type of pursuit because you notice there's a lot of motion. You can come inside. That time Aptos chose to take it outside, see if they can't stretch the corner a little bit on the Cardinals. Good job by the defense that time.
Again, it's Weber under center for Aptos. Kyle Vander Zanden will see plenty of time there as well. Again, we've got a penalty. Don't know which side of the line moved first that time. It looks like it's Aptos. So self-destruction here early from the Mariners.
See, that's one thing you can't do in football is give those penalties, especially offensive penalties, when you've got a drive going. Illegal procedure, those are the things that will take a coach's hair gray, or in my case, just you get more, less. I don't have any after coaching high school for football for years.
Ball now at the 40-yard line of Aptos. It's a 2nd and 19. Give this time as a sweep left side. That's number 24, Dan Stevens. Cuts back, fights his way across the 45 to the 47. So a good gain there for Stevens. It'll be 3rd and 12 for the Mariners.
Martisius, number 7, finally stepped up and made a tackle from his defensive back position. That was a nice job. Good run by Stevens. You start to go to the outside. You read your block. You take what the defense is going to give you. They weren't giving him the outside. He cut it up inside.
3rd and long here for Weber and the Mariners. Split backs behind him. 2 receivers right side, and another penalty. Number 2 that time, the split end. Bobby Torres tried to get a quick jump on the defense, and as a result now, Kurt, it'll be 3rd and 18.
We better be happy that Santa Cruz is a gun-free zone. Otherwise, Coach Garrison, of course, in Aptos, we don't know about that. It's unincorporated. Garrison's probably got a shotgun somewhere in the neighborhood of that front line saying, know the count.
And how much is this? Well, we'll talk about it the next break, but how much is this maybe a product of knowing that Santa Cruz knows this offense so well because they run the same thing? Weber back to pass. He looks out right side. He overthrows his man, Dan Stevens, who was open. Incomplete. 4th down. Aptos will punt, so they do not convert a drive that started near midfield.
That's terrible. Actually, they backed up, thank you to the penalties, once they started at the 49, we'll call it the 50-yard line. So they basically lost 8 yards on that play, all thanks to the penalties. And that's just not a way you want to start a football game.
Back deep to receive this punt for the Cardinals. It's number 30, Steve Pinther. And doing the punting for Aptos is number 14, Chris Marino. Snap is good. Marino gets off a nice kick. Running up to catch it is Pinther, and he's brought down immediately. Nice special teams play that time by Aptos. That was Dustin Weber and Joe Pinpin. No gain for Pinther.
Good coverage, good hang time. That's what you want. Marino got the ball up, got it to be hanging up there, and allowed his mates to get down the field. And of course, high school, and actually anyways, you've got this little area that you have to let the receiver at least touch the ball. Give him about 3, maybe 5 feet. Once he catches it, then destroy him.
In for the Cardinals at quarterback, it's number 11, Jim Anderson. He is the most accurate passer in the league. He's completed 78% thus far, and he's got some targets as well. I formation behind him. 1st and 10, ball at the 31. Anderson gives to the deep back that time. For Santa Cruz, that's number 30, Pinther. Fights his way across for a couple yards. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Number 70, Steve Norton. 6'2", 300. Is that a misprint? Either that or I lost my ink ran. 352. I'm going to go 252. Either that or he's a big, good-sized refrigerator and a freezer. Anyways, he plugs the middle of that line. He was the one that stepped up and made that tackle. I'll tell you one thing, he hasn't missed dinner.
2nd and 8 now for the Cardinals. Anderson with a 4-receiver set. Lone back is Luke Wetmore. Fake to Wetmore. Anderson rolls out. It's an option. Pitch left side. They've got plenty of room out there. That's number 9, Chad Allen. First down yardage for Santa Cruz across the 40. Nice play that time for the Cardinals offense.
That's just a sweet way to run it. You go down the line, you run the option. If the defense doesn't take the pitch man, you just pitch the ball out there. You've got guards and tackles pulling, getting around the corner. If they do take the pitch man, quarterback just tucks it underneath his wing and turns it up the field. But defensively, you have to cover everybody.
First down, ball at the 43 of Santa Cruz. Again, it's a 4-receiver set for Anderson. Rolls right side, looking to throw. He's got time, dumps it out here, and it's dropped. Chris Kamahaho, say that 10 times fast.
I can't say it once.
Had room in front of him, but unfortunately couldn't come up with it. May have been looking before he caught it.
Sometimes that's really typical to do on receivers. That's also a tough pass. Anderson on that moving pocket out to the right realized he was going to have to get rid of that ball in a big hurry. Again, 42, Zach Hewitt was really coming in on him hard. So it's a touch pass, but Anderson might have put a little bit too much mustard on the ball and zipped it in there quicker than the receiver was waiting for the ball.
Kurt, we've talked about how both teams run similar styles on both sides of the ball. How do you think that'll play out as far as who's going to have the advantage?
That's a great question. The advantage is going to come down to those horses on the offensive line, whether or not they can carry out their blocking assignments and get to their respective areas. In this type of an option offense, you want to be able to get to the other team's linebackers. So the team that's able to do that should come out the victor.
Empty backfield behind Anderson on 2nd and 10. Actually, it's a new quarterback in there. That's Paul Krogan. They set up the screen to Jared Hunter. He's got room across midfield down to the 45. First down, Cardinals into Aptos territory.
Brilliantly designed play, nice job by Krogan. Paul doing a fine job just dropping back. And you saw this sea of white come right to him. And as a lineman, as a defensive lineman, you've got to realize, hey, if they're letting me in this easy, there's got to be something happening behind me. Aptos didn't recognize it. Nice pass over to Hunter, and you can see the result. Great job. Good call.
Nice blocking up front that time by the Cardinals offensive lineman who got out there in front of Hunter, who got it to the 43, 1st and 10. 4 receivers now as Anderson's back under center. Lone back is Wetmore. Again, it's Anderson on the option. This time he keeps it. He's hit hard as he gets the ball across the 40 to the 38. About a 6-yard gain that time. It'll be 2nd and short.
Great job by Anderson. Read his keys very well. Good blocking, tied up the defensive end on that side. That allowed Anderson to read to see what was going to happen. Corner stepped up, said, I got the pitch, man, if you pitch it. Anderson says, I recognize it. Ducked inside, picked up 5 to 6 yards.
2nd and short. Ball at the 39 of Aptos. Santa Cruz looking to score on their first possession of the game. 7.5 to go, first quarter. Split back set now behind Anderson. In motion, that's Chad Allen. Give this time on the misdirection. That's number 12, Luke Wetmore, who gets perhaps a yard. Good defense that time on the Aptos side of the ball.
Justin Beazer doing a nice job of staying home. Runs at a linebacker position. That little counter, that little misdirection, as you call it, you're going to have a little trap block. It's up to the linebackers and the defensive backs to recognize it, step up, and make the hit.
3rd and 4 now for Santa Cruz. Wetmore got about a half a yard only that time, so Anderson's got his work cut out for him. 3 receivers to his left, and now Hunter splits out wide right. Lone back is Wetmore. Quick slant inside. It's dropped and tipped into the hands of Aptos. That's number 25, Brian Stahl. So a huge turnover there. Ball in and out of the hands of Jared Hunter. And the Mariners take over in good field position, so an early momentum swing here.
Turnovers will kill you. Hard slant pass. If you don't lead your receiver right on the money, you have that possibility of the ball being picked up. And that was exactly what happened. Off the hands of Hunter, right into the hands of the defensive safety. And now this is a huge break for the Mariners.
Kurt, talking to both coaches this week as we did, they said turnovers would be the key. So we'll see if Aptos can convert here. Quarterbacking now it is Kyle Vanderzanen. Give is up the middle. And Santa Cruz read it like a book that time. Number 24 for Aptos, Dan Stevens, got perhaps a yard that time. It'll be 2nd and long.
It'll be interesting watching the Mariners offensively. Now in practice, they run their 2 quarters, Van der Zanden and Weber, so they're in and out. So the center knows the cadence because each quarterback brings just a little bit different emphasis when they call for they snap.
Lone back behind Van der Zanden now is Zach Moody. 3 receivers for Van der Zanden to choose from here on 2nd and 7. Ball at the 38. In motion, that's Tim Sunzeri. Roll out by Van der Zanden. He's looking deep. He's got a man out there. Overthrows number 86, Mike Keenan that time, and he was open.
Keenan running just a straight 90 pattern, which basically breaks down to a fly, up and release down the field. Nice little fake. And I like Van der Zanden. His nice little roll out. Nice job of setting up. A little bit more air underneath the football, and the Mariners have 6. That was a good call by Coach Garrison, realizing that the Cardinals, their defensive backs have started to creep up. Now it's time to put the ball over the top.
3rd and 7 now. Ball at the 38. We've got a delay here as the officials are talking to Santa Cruz coach Bassel Faltas. And
that's Steve Orozco in there doing something very animated. And if there's one thing I know about Orozco, he's animated.
And we're going to take a look at that last play here, Kurt. The man was definitely open. Van der Zanden had time.
Notice he's got a lot of time, sets up, puts the ball deep. And sometimes young old quarterbacks, they see the receiver wide open on a deep route, and they can overthrow. Van der Zanden does have a strong throwing arm, but that was a nice job. Again, the moving pocket gets him out and able to throw the ball.
The officials have straightened it out with Coach Faltas. It's 3rd and 7 now. Give this time on the misdirection, and Santa Cruz read it. That was number 12, Luke Wetmore, with a great play that time, stopping Aptos for a loss, and that'll force the punt.
Great job by Wetmore, linebacker. And the linebackers basically read. They're sitting back, obviously, behind the line of scrimmage. First step is up into the line, read to see what's going on. Wetmore read it very good, stepped up and made the tackle.
2nd punt of the night for Aptos and Chris Marino. He kicks it away from Pinther, but he gets over there at the 30. He's got room up the middle. Across the 40 to the 44. Nice return that time for Pinther, much better than the first result. So Santa Cruz will have their 2nd possession. 5:08 to go 1st quarter. We're in a scoreless game here at Santa Cruz High. As the band starts to fire up below us.
Yeah, you know what? There's something about a high school band at a football game. It just adds a lot to it. When they play in key, it's even better. And these guys here in Santa Cruz can do that. Good music program.
Jim Anderson again under center for the Cardinals. Split backs behind him. And the give is to the man in motion. That was number 25, Chris Kamahaho. And he was thrown down there for little to no gain.
None at all. Marchisio, the center, I watched him on that play. He wears number 50 in the red uniform. Snaps the ball, tries to at least get in the way of Steve Norton, the big 6'2" nose tackle for the Mariners, to try and cut down his angle of pursuit to the best of his ability. But again, good job by the Aptos Mariner linebackers to step up and make that tackle.
They're going to give Kamahaho a yard on that play, so it'll be 2nd and 9, ball at the Santa Cruz 45. Splitting out wide, that's Michael Derlin for Santa Cruz. Split backs behind Anderson. In motion, it's Allen. Give on the misdirection, that's...
I like the way that Wetmore runs that play. I like the little counter that they send through, just basically a wire or a scissors play. Send one off one side and then have Wetmore come off the other side. If you can do that enough and get out there and do a nice trap block, which that time the Cardinal offensive line did, it's good for a good gain.
And Kurt, you talked at the top about how this offense involves a lot of misdirection and confuses people. They got me that time, as I didn't know Wetmore had it. My apologies to Luke. He got 6. It's 3rd and 2 at the Aptos 48. 2 backs behind Anderson. A nice run across the 45 for a first down. Steve Pinther that time on the carry. So a fresh set of downs for Santa Cruz High in Aptos territory at the 44.
Pinther really showed me something. Just a straight lead right off the right side between the guard and the tackle slot. I actually thought that he was going to get popped right at the line of scrimmage for no gain, but he kept his shoulders up, head up, and great leg drive. Got that first down because there was a heck of a collision right at the line of scrimmage.
Pinther and Wetmore, the split backs behind Anderson. 1st and 10. 2 receivers right side, and Hunter splits left. Motion man now is Allen. Fake is to Allen. Give is up the middle to Wetmore, who falls forward for about 4 yards inside the 40 of Aptos, so it'll be 2nd and about 5.
Again, that time you saw multiple shifts by the Cardinals. Hunter going out to the left, motion going out to the left. That takes the strength of the defense to their defensive right side to compensate for all the motion action. That allows the Cardinals to run a quick little counter back to the weak side and pick up some yardage.
Pinther out, Kamahaho in. Multiple substitutions as both teams trying to utilize their depth here, and they have it, so why not? 2nd and 4 now, I formation. Anderson gives to the deep back. That's number 12, Wetmore, and looks like we've got a holding penalty. That's generally what that flag means coming from that direction. And in fact, we do, so 2nd and short will become 2nd and long.
Yeah, Steve Orozco, the man in the white hat, the good guy. Of course, I've never known an official, umpire, or anything to be the good guy. I mean, a white hat just doesn't fit. But Orozco's got one on there. He's got to be the head man, and he made the holding call. He threw that flag right in the middle of it. And you're right. Almost every time that flag comes flying into the center, you can bet somebody got their hands caught in the cookie jar.
First penalty of the night on the Cardinals, and it'll back them up to midfield. So it now is 2nd and 15 as we wind towards 2 minutes to go, first quarter. Scoreless game here. It's game 2 in the league season for both these clubs, who are both 1-0. 4 receiver set now for Anderson to work with. Lone back is Willie Palmer. Give is to Palmer up the middle. It's a fumble. Anderson falls on it. And we've got a illegal motion penalty. So correct me if I'm wrong, Kurt. That means that play wouldn't have mattered, right?
It wouldn't have mattered at all.
Covered.
Yep. Illegal shift by the Cardinals. We saw guys in motion. When you have 2 men in motion, which was exactly what was going on at that point in time, you're going to get a flag. And this is another decision that the Mariners could make. You know, continue to push them back. That's not a bad move. Now, the one thing that I'm really impressed with, Santa Cruz gives you a lot of different fronts and a lot of different looks. And they're going to decline it. So that
we thought they might accept it, but they actually did decline it, as you said.
That play goes. So it's 3rd down.
3rd and 20 now. Santa Cruz is backed up to their own 48. We'll see if they have a play in the book for this situation. 4 receivers for Anderson. And again, the lone back is Wetmore. Anderson rolls left. He's got some time. He goes deep. He's got a man out there, number 7, Reuben Miller. Santa Cruz crowd looking for a flag as Miller went down. And again, Kurt, we saw a receiver get behind the defense that time, and the quarterback just had a little too much on it.
One of the things on the cover, too, you've got the deep safeties back there. They've got deep responsibility on whatever half of the field they are. Samples was over there that time. That was the pass was supposed to be more to the inside, and you can see the receiver had to rotate back around to the outside. The collision was unavoidable. Both guys going for the ball. Good non-call by the official, in spite of what the crowd thought below me.
Luke Wetmore back to punt for Santa Cruz. Number 3 for Aptos back to receive it. That's Jesse Samples. High kick. Samples has no shot at this one as it bounces forward. A Mariner bounce there as it hit at about the 30 and went forward to the 38. So with 1:24 to go first quarter, Aptos will take over again with good field position.
Crying out loud, they've started the game. Every time they've got their hands on the pigskin, they've had great field position. Remember, folks, they started off the game. First kick was out of bounds. They wanted to go to the second one, brought it to the 49-yard line, and then the Hankies started littering the field after that. So they really haven't had a chance to get an offensive drive going yet, and maybe with Weber back in there, they will. Who knows?
Series-to-series substitution under center. Again, as you said, it's Weber now for Aptos. Give is up the middle and a fumble. Ball on the ground. Cardinals have it. Didn't see who. Dan Stevens put it on the ground for Aptos.
Well, I don't know who came up with it, Joel, but I'll tell you one thing. Number 77, Jason Garcia, defensive lineman, 6'3", 235 pounds, got his hands on Stevens' jersey and was not going to let him down and basically just slung him right to the ground, and the ball popped free. And unfortunately, I don't know who came up with the pigskin for the Cardinals, but what a huge turnover.
Deep in Aptos territory. They're going to mark it at the 34. We've got an injured player for Santa Cruz High. See if we can get the number for you here. It looks like they're checking a knee. That's number.
Never like to see that one, but if he's just saying, it just hurts a little bit. Number 11 is the one down. That's Jim Anderson. That's their quarterback. Now, we know that Paul Krogan came in and was a quarterback for a little bit. And actually, Luke Whitmore was their quarterback last year, so they can, they can do quarterback by committee too if they have to.
Certainly can. As we said, both teams have depth, and Santa Cruz will have to employ it here, as it doesn't look good for Anderson as he limps off. He also doubles as the Cardinal cornerback.
Watch this replay. You can see there's Garcia just slinging the running back to the ground, and the ball pops free. There goes Anderson. He's diving for it. He got a whole bunch of jerseys, and Anderson just got his leg rolled up on, and that hurts, folks.
Looks like he got hit from the side. Unfortunate there. Meanwhile, Santa Cruz with the ball. Again, it is Krogan in the game. He throws one up high. It's a jump ball, almost brought down by Jared Hunter. And
now, you know what? That one I agree with the crowd.
Certainly the defender that time made contact before the ball got there, and Coach Bassel Faltas is letting the sideline judge know about it.
Oh, he is getting an earful. That ball was up there a long time. Hunter was the intended receiver. The ball was underthrown. Hunter broke off his pattern. Nice read on the fact that the ball was underthrown. Steps back, but then he basically gets tackled out there by the DB, who is. He wasn't beat on the play initially, but the way the pass ended up, he was in the wrong spot to do anything except mug the receiver.
And Kurt Hunter at 6'5", I could argue that perhaps it was underthrown intentionally so he could jump up and get it. They're going to try it again. Again, it's Krogan, and again, it's Hunter. He pushes off and makes the catch. No call. Touchdown, Santa Cruz.
Well, there's payback for you from one non-call to another non-call. That was a good job on Hunter, who was back there on Keenan, number 86, and it was just the old, I got this rebound, get out of my zone, forearm shove.
Well, Hunter figures if they can get away with it, so can I. The first score of the game comes with 1:02 to go. And the crowd loves it on this side. Point after attempt is up and good by number 8, Nick Borohoff, and just like that, Santa Cruz jumps on top 7-0. And you've got to credit Paul Krogan as well, Kurt. Comes in cold off the bench, throws 2 catchable balls that time, and he gets the home run to Hunter. Just like that, 7-0 Santa Cruz.
It's great, and those aren't that easy, especially, it's coming in cold, and you're asked to throw the deep route. There was a little bit of a wobble on that one, but who cares? That was a great adjustment again by Hunter, and it never hurts. And that's one of those, if you got the official down there, if both guys give it the rip to push off, who you going to call? Yeah, I mean, you might as well just keep that thing. It's a no call. One call saying, hey, he pushed off. We saw him push off, which he did. But I got news for you. I saw Keenan's also had his hand out there getting ready to shove Hunter. So, hey, nice job of keeping that hanky right in your pocket. And that's sometimes tough to do.
No surprise to see Hunter make that kind of play. He is, as his coach Bassel Faltas told me, their playmaker. He had a groin injury. He's now 100%. They brought him back slowly. He got a few plays in against Harbor, but Coach Faltas told me he is a Pac-10, legitimate Pac-10 prospect, so you may see Hunter at the next level. Kicking off for Santa Cruz, again, it's Esparza, and again, it's a squiver to the left side, picked up by the upback for Aptos. That's Brian Stahl once again. Stahl spinning his way forward, finally is brought down by a mass of red. Looks like they'll mark him past the 30-yard line. where Aptos will take over facing a 7-0 deficit.
Good job by the special teams. Get down there, cover your zones, then release to the pattern that the running back's given you. Don't all converge at once and to steal a line. Oh, the humanity. I think there were 11 red shirts over there just wrapped around Stahl.
Van der Zanden under center for Aptos. It's his second possession as Coach Garrison continues to employ the rotation. Give is to the running back, and it looks like we'll have a holding penalty again as Stevens got about 8 yards. But the reason he had the hole apparently will be because one of his big linemen up front was wrestling.
It looks that way, and yes, it's a holding up front. And that is going to kill you. That was a nice little trap block, but it also helps the trap block when you decide to do a little WWF in the middle of that line. The backfield judge saw that one and fired the flag right up in the middle of everything. And Aptos does have some big horses up front. I mean, they got some guys that can flat out block. 65, Becerra is one big lad, and he is a tackle out on the right side.
Coach Garrison said also to keep an eye on Mark Romero, number 60. He said as they go, the Mariner offense goes. Give this time, it's a reverse to Stevens, and he's got room along the right side. He'll get it back to the original line of scrimmage across the 30-yard line as we wind down towards the end of the first quarter. It'll be 2nd and about 10 for Aptos.
Number 7, Reuben Miller with the tackle, but after that huge game, I mean, we talk about the offensive linemen. They've got a lot of responsibilities. Yeah, they've got to protect quarterback, get everything, but they've got to sell their blocks. On that reverse, Romero did a nice job as a quarter end, so just sealing everybody out.
"12 minutes in the book here from Santa Cruz High School. After the first quarter of play, the Cardinals, on a bomb to Jared Hunter, have gone up on Aptos by a score of 7-0. So we'll be back for the second quarter right after this. Again, it's Santa Cruz 7, Aptos 0.
You should know that Scarborough Lumber is one of the oldest, most community-oriented businesses in our region. From Pop Warner to the New Scotts Valley Falcons, San Luis Valley Cougars, and Cabrillo College, Scarborough is there providing resources and support. Scarborough Lumber and Building Supply is involved because sports helps develop leadership and responsibility with our young people. From the garden store to lumber, the hardware to building supply, Scarborough Lumber and Building Supply, working to make our community stronger and better.
Take me back in time, when music was music, and when asked to dance, he held you close. Take me back to Severino's, where the past has a popular new twist. Swing music, it's back and loved by the young and young at heart. Severino's has the best in live swing music with Don McCaslin and Ralston Brown. Share a dance, meet new friends. Severino's has a full bar, and Charlie, well, he's just part of the show. Enjoy a delicious meal that's sure to satisfy and relax on the warm and peaceful patio. Enjoy a little bit of the past tonight at Severino's.
There are 2 King's Paint stores to serve you in Santa Cruz County with quality products at prices lower than box stores. He runs the SoCal store and tries to tell his brother Ron what to do.
He never listens to me.
Ron doesn't like to talk on TV. You'll find the best paints always at the lowest prices at King's Paint and Paper. They'll compete with anybody. Isn't that right, Ron? King's Paint and Paper, 2 great locations, locally owned for 20 years.
For nearly 30 years, spa fitness centers have been serving Santa Cruz County with the finest facilities available.
If you're thinking of joining a health club, the time is now.
No need to wait. We're ready now.
Sign up now to join the area's most modern sports facility. Get 1 month for just $30. If your sports club is letting you down, sign up now at your nearby spa fitness center. Spa fitness center.
Often imitated, but never duplicated.
Back to Santa Cruz High's Memorial Field. First play of the second quarter, folks, was a doozy. Kyle Van der Zanden found his main man, Dan Stevens, on the left side. They set up a screen, and Stevens wove his way down to the Cardinal 5-yard line. An incredible catch and run as he cut back, reminiscent of Gale Sayers there. He did a couple little snake-type moves, and injured on the play for Santa Cruz was number 12, Luke Wetmore, who chased Stevens down. So we apologize to Stevens. That was one of the great plays we've seen this year. So it's first and goal at the 5 of Santa Cruz as Aptos looks to tie. Vander Zandt gives to number 24. Again, that's Stevens. He gets about 3 yards on the carry, so it'll be second and goal at the 2.
Just a great push by that offensive front center, and I'm sorry I don't know his name. He's number 75, and I just don't have a 75 on my roster. Maybe you do, but just blew a huge hole up front.
Weber now into quarterback for Aptos. 3 backs behind him, second and short. Give again is to Stevens, who bowls his way forward. Did he break the plane? Apparently not. So it'll be third and goal. Inside a yard to go.
Number 78, Michael Bennett, the 265-pound guard, just blasting away up there. He's right next to Bracella, and they're going to go right off that side. It is going to be power on power. Of course, right now, a play action would be great.
Again, it's Weber under center, 3 backs behind him. Give over the top, up and over for a touchdown. That's Jesse Samples. Mariners have scored. 10:32 to go in the half. It's 7-6, and with a PAT, we'll have a tie game.
Super job by the offensive line. They fired out low, got underneath, got that front wall of the Cardinals to fall down, so to speak. And Samples took the high road up and over. I love that little roll over the top of everybody into the end zone.
And I'm blanking on the Aptos basketball coach, his name, but whoever he is, he ought to be watching Samples there, who had some leaping ability to go over the top that time.
Well, back in my day, which is 100 years ago, it was Warmer Dam.
Well, that's 100 years ago, as everyone's day was Warmer, because that's how long he was there.
Warmer and I had some doozy battles, because being the baseball coach out there, football and baseball, I was always kind of fighting the guys who were going to get out there for gym practice. And I wanted them on my practice field.
And a penalty that time on Santa Cruz on the PAT, which gets the ball closer, which means Aptos will go for 2 and the lead. Big play here early. Again, it's Weber under center. Give us to the deep man, Samples again, and he does it again. Wait a minute. We've got conflicting calls that time. The referee on the far side put his arms up. The one on the near side made no signal. So I don't know if we got a replay of that, but they're going to say it's good. So Aptos takes the lead thanks to a penalty there on Santa Cruz. So Coach Bassel Faltas told us, Kurt, that special teams would be a key in a little something like that. Instead of a tie game, suddenly Santa Cruz is in the hole.
That's right. They've got a hole. They got that snowman up on the board for the 8. And again, the offensive fronts, we talk about them often. They don't get the credit that they deserve. Just great drive. If they can win at the point of attack, and watch this, you're going to be able to see that surge of that line. And Santa Cruz does a nice job defensively to meet it and just try and drive everybody on. Martisius, number 6, does everything in his power to get Samples to go back across the line of scrimmage. Ooh, heck of a play. Aptos saying we got it, Santa Cruz saying no. But the guys in the striped shirts are the ones that make the final decision on this one. Judge, jury, prosecutor, and no appeal necessary. Thank you.
Big play early on here. Early second quarter. Aptos now has taken an 8-7 lead. Back deep for Santa Cruz. It's Steve Pinther, and he's going to run under it. He drops it at the 10. Picks it up, tries to get out left side, and does. Breaks a few tackles and gets it across the 15. So despite the fumble there, Pinther was able to make a little bit of lemonade out of that lemon. And, Santa Cruz will have the ball deep in their own territory.
Yeah, he almost got the whole lemon. You know, so many times when you find a play like that, the coverage team comes down and overs commits, and you can eventually find your way free and up the field for a touchdown. But that time, Aptos did a nice job of discipline, staying right where they're supposed to and wrapping up the ball carrier. Nothing could be worse than dropping the kickoffs. Like, oh, my Lord.
Ball put down at the 16, and good news for Cardinal fans. Jim Anderson back under center. So apparently the knee injury not as serious as we had feared. Put a man in motion and give it to him. That's number 25, Chris Kamahaho, and he breaks free. He's got nothing but real estate in front of him. The 40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10. Kamahaho scores just like that. 13-8 Cardinals.
84 yards on a little inside counter. And what makes that happen? Offensive line gets in the face of the linebackers. They can't make their reads and step up. Kamahaho says, see ya.
Beautiful play that time, very well executed. You got to give credit to the lineman up front who opened that hole. And then once Kamahaho saw it, Kurt, he hit it quickly.
He did that indeed.
And then he showed his speed that time as the Aptos DBs weren't able to chase him down. In for the point after, it's Borohoff. It's up and good. So with 10-11 to go in the second quarter, suddenly the offenses have come alive here. The big plays on both sides of the ball. It's 14-8 Santa Cruz.
Nice to have a field goal kicker like Borohoff to be able to do that. Just punch that thing through. That's a great answer by the Mariners to be able to, or the Cardinals, to answer back that quickly after a touchdown. We're already seeing he has already popped free, and he is on his horse. Chris Marino just trying to run him down, but Kamahaho is just not going to have anything of it. Great breakaway speed. Good job by that offensive line. One of them, number 53, Jared Jenkins, doing a great job. Marchisio Steve, number 50, the center, also doing a super job, and you can see the tail end, and it's victory time.
Well, we mentioned that Aptos' basketball coach ought to recruit Jesse Samples. The Santa Cruz track coach ought to recruit Kamahaho.
Well,
good arm action
right
there.
across the way. He's the he's the Aptos track coach. Santa Cruz track coach is, I don't know who he is, and I finally remember the basketball coach, Gruber. Danny Gruber.
Dan Gruber does the women, doesn't he?
He used to do the women's in your day, back not too many years ago. Since
that's what happens when you get old. Your memory goes.
Standing next to me, you're a young pup. So that's why I was, I get a kick out of when I do work with Pat Lovell. Then I finally feel young again.
14-8 your score. Santa Cruz back to kick. Deep for Aptos. Again, it's number 3, Jesse Samples, and number 24, Dan Stevens. And it's a good kick that time. Stevens will take it, though, at his own 6. Brings it across the 20, 25, left side, 28, still falling forward across the 30-yard line. So a nice return that time for Stevens. The Aptos special team scored 3 touchdowns last week against Monte Vista, and they came up with a nice play there.
Did a nice job on that one, and what I was really impressed with, the blockers who were peeling back to get back to Stevens waited to throw their blocks, and they recognized it. Of course, everybody knows clipping or illegal block behind the back or below the waist gets the flag and all. So a lot of Mariners had that opportunity, and they didn't do it. They waited for the Cardinal to turn around, then plowing.
Weber under center, 1st and 10, Aptos at their own 31. Sweep this time right side. That's number 12, Tim Sunzeri. And the Cardinals sniff it out and stuff it for a 2-yard gain.
Sunzeri, motion man, had that ball almost get popped free from him. Handsman, number 66, Evan, a defensive lineman, 6'6", 245. Can't miss him. He's just one of those big war horses right up there in the middle of the line, in on the tackle, doing a good job. As a defender, you want to be able to get across the line of scrimmage and just disrupt anything you possibly can.
They'll give Sunzeri 3 yards on that play. Ball marked at the 34 of Aptos, so it's 2nd and 7. 3 receivers for Weber. And he's looking to throw left side. He goes deep. He's got a man open. A nice catch that time by number 87, Aaron August. So the big plays continue. That time a beautiful throw and catch. Weber to August. Aptos ball inside the Santa Cruz 30.
One of the weaknesses on the 50 defense, or the 5-0, is you've got to cover 2. You got 2 safeties back. They've got half the field. Now, if you're running man up, if you're going to do man coverage on the corners and you get somebody like August who blows right by the corner on that side, your safety's going to have to be able to roll over there in coverage. So you're going to have to really know what it is you've got going on defensively.
Ball marked at the 29. Give now on the right side. That's Samples. Tries to get outside, turn the corner. He does. Tiptoes along the line. Inside the 5. He's blown out of bounds. He went into the end zone, but he stepped out at the 5-yard line. They'll mark him down. So the big plays continue, folks. Jesse Samples now has Aptos knocking at the door.
Well, one of the things about these offenses is they've got a lot of different things they can do, and each play can be a game breaker or a touchdown breaker. And Samples is very, very quick and did a nice little toe dance down the sideline and probably just saw half his foot hit the white chalk, but that was enough.
Beautiful job straddling the line that time by Samples, able to keep his balance. And he finally stepped out at the 5, as I said, where it's first and goal. 8:47 to go first half. Aptos looking to take the lead. They trail 14-8. Man in motion. They go up the middle on the misdirection. Untouched. Joe Wagner scores. Just like that, it's 14-14. And with a successful kick, Aptos will regain the lead.
Well, right now, it is just match this. This is more like the old ping pong game. And it's play right up the gut. Nice little trapping action. Watch how the line clears out. Good blocking on the outside. You got a missed tackle in there, but you just let him go. See the great seal-out blocks. It just allows the running back to go right up through the gut, untouched into the end zone. Number 66, Diaz, doing a super job from his guard position, just walling off the defender to allow his running back to come in for the score.
Eric Eastman successful on the kick for Aptos, so they take the lead 15-14. 8:43 to go first half. And Kurt, it also, and looking at that replay, it kind of makes me realize that the other thing that's key is everyone carrying out the ball fake. The quarterback has to look like he's still got it. The man sweeping opposite way has to look like he's got it. That's an important part of this offense, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's such an extremely important part of this offense. If you just half-heartedly do your fake and your assignments, whoever's been chosen to watch you immediately clicks off you and goes to where the ball is supposed to be. So everybody, the ball carriers, the motion man, the receivers, and of course the blockers, they have to play each play at 100% because they, like, the ball could be coming their direction. Otherwise, they're tipping off that defense. Hey, it's not coming to my side, it's going over there.
Aptos now back to kick, and deep for the Cardinals, it's Pinther. Once again, Pinther runs up to catch it. He gets it cleanly this time. He has blockers in front of him. 25-yard line is where he's brought down. So, Kurt, the first couple possessions we saw, the offense has struggled. But since then, we've seen some big plays. You think maybe the coaches have pulled a couple tricks out that they hadn't, taught each other or worked on? There's some new wrinkles we're seeing here.
I have no doubt that they've got a couple extra wrinkles in both of these offense. And I also think that the spotters, they've got a chance. They had one full quarter to see how the defenses were working. It's sort of like getting into a fight. You test the boxer here, there, find the weakness, and then start to exploit it to the best of your ability.
First and 10 for the Cardinals and quarterback Jim Anderson as they now again stare at a 1-point deficit. 4 receivers wide, lone back Wetmore. Give is to Wetmore up the middle, and Aptos sniffs it out this time. They throw him down for a 2-yard loss. It'll be 2nd and 12.
McHenry and Norton, the two big war horses up front. Norton, obviously, the nose tackle. McHenry plays a tackle on the left side, did a good job of stopping that play before it got too far, such as 1 whole yard, which equals almost to nowhere.
And that was a kind spot by the referees because he certainly could have been thrown for a loss there. And the more I look at Norton on the replay, the more I believe 352 may be accurate.
So he's got a couple of rocks in those pockets. There's no doubt about that.
Anderson looks to pass right side. He's got a man out there overthrowing number 7, Reuben Miller, the intended receiver, and again, he had a step on the defender.
He did that one, as we said before, when you're in a cover 2, or if you're doing man up on the far side, corner versus receiver, if you can go on a straight go or a 90 pattern, you can get deep on that cornerback. You don't have any help over the top. You've got to get that quarter to be able to throw just a little bit more air underneath the ball. Sounds easy, not really, because you also have to have distance too.
Anderson now stares at a 3rd and 9, ball at his own 26. Again, he's got 4 receivers, Wetmore behind him. Goes left side again, that's number 1, Jared Hunter. Nice open field tackle that time by Aptos' Chris Marino. Didn't allow Hunter to escape, and as a result, Santa Cruz will have to punt.
One of the things you have to do if you're a cornerback or a defensive back is you better be a good open field tackler, especially if you got somebody the size of Hunter that's going to go up against you. 6'5", 210 pounds, pretty good wheels too.
Back deep to kick for Santa Cruz is Wetmore. Yes, folks, he does do it all. And back for Aptos, it's Samples to receive. Snap is good, kick is up, and it's straight up. A lot of hang time, but not a lot of distance. In fact, they didn't know where it was. That was dangerous. A Cardinal bounce, though. It'll be downed at the 45-yard line, so Aptos gets a break there. Not the best punt of Wetmore's young career. And as a result, Aptos will have the ball in good field position with a 1-point lead.
Well, at least the punt went forward. That's it. And really on something like that, it is up to the punter to yell at the top of their lungs where the punt is. Straight up, short, left, right. Try and tell his linemen or the rest of the guys on his team to be able to react. Of course, that's not easy to do when you've got a football helmet on and everybody yelling at the same time. Listening's not the greatest skill.
Van der Zanden again under center for Aptos. Motion man Bobby Torres. Give was to Torres on the left side that time, and Santa Cruz sniffed it out. Little to no gain that time. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Good job, Jason Garcia. Tackle on that far side. Stay home. Fought off his block and dropped Torres for little or no gain. Actually, no gain. Here again, the battle in the trenches on an option style play. It's the battle of the trenches. Can you get to your blocks and execute them before the defense gets the reads?
Stevens and Wagner stand behind Van der Zanden on 2nd and 10. Ball at the Santa Cruz 45. Van der Zanden pump fakes like he's going to throw, tucks it in and tries to run. Escapes left side, breaks 1 tackle. Tries to cut back and break a second. He refuses to go down. Finally forced out of bounds, but an impressive, strong run by Kyle Van der Zanden. Not quite first down yardage. It'll be 3rd and short.
I like that play from Kyle. So very good, drops back. Little pump fake and then tucks it underneath. Gives you an idea about this young man. Pretty strong competitor, 6'1", 170-pounder. And he did not go down, and he wrapped up that ball. He's one of those multiple athletes. He's a good, solid track athlete for the Mariners.
7-yard gain for Van der Zanden means it's 3rd and 3. Ball at the Cardinal 38. Give right side is a sweep to Samples. He tries to get across the 35. He does. It'll depend on the spot for the first down. And we've got a flag on the play as well, so it may all be moot.
I'm going to guess from where it is. We'll see what Steve Orozco has to say. Gee, what a shock. Holding. Usually, folks, anytime the flag is thrown into the center of the field where the center and the nose tackle started the play from, you can almost bet the farm it's going to be holding. On that play was a great job of blocking by Joel Wagner that allowed the running back to cut it up the field, but it'll go for naught as we're going to have to back this thing up a few feet.
And Kurt, as you said, that would have been a first down gain there as he did get a nice block. So Samples had the distance he needed, but unfortunately for he and the Mariners, they're backed up. So now it's 3rd and 14, ball at the 49. Van der Zanden's got his work cut out for him now. 3 receiver set, lone back behind him is Wagner. In motion, it's Sunzeri. Fake. Hunter's got a beat on him left side. Oh, and he was drilled as he threw. Pass incomplete. We've got flags everywhere, a sea of yellow. And I don't know what you saw down there, Kurt, but what I saw here was a big hit delivered by Jared Hunter. They're going to call it late, but Man, he got a lick on Vander Zanden.
We'll see if we've got, it was a huge lick on Vander Zand. Down here we've got pass interference. I couldn't tell you whether it was going to be offensive or defensive pass interference. But remember, folks, unlike pro ball, where if it's pass interference, you get it for where the receiver was going to catch the ball. High school, personal foul, going to hit the helmet against the defense, and then another foul against the defense. So either way you look at it, it's a first down. So Vander Zand really uncorked that thing and just got leveled. It's not so much the late hit that we're getting called. Watch Kyle, again, moving pocket, does a nice job, gets his feet underneath him, gets the ball back. He's going to be able to deliver that potato down the field. Ball is gone. Well, the call was helmet to helmet. As we can see on the replay, it wasn't helmet to helmet. Maybe a tad late, but it wasn't helmet to helmet. So everything just moves up 10 yards on the 15 yards on the penalty.
Yeah, ball was at the 49. It's now at the 34. So Aptos could choose their penalty that time to accept, as the crowd didn't like that penalty call. They felt like Hunter got there in time, but as you said before, their voices don't matter. 5:40 to go, first half. 1st and 10, Aptos. They look to pad a 15-14 lead. Vander Zanden gives this time to Stevens up the middle. He bull rushes his way forward. Yellow flag came in that time as he was finally wrestled down by Jared Hunter. We've got another hold, though. So Aptos, after the penalty on Santa Cruz, backs itself up.
Those penalties will kill you. The holding ones are really going to get you. Numbers 78, Michael Bennett, 5'10", 265 pounds, just annihilated the man in front of him who was driving him straight back. Actually, the whole Aptos line was. But I'll tell you, Joel, it's really easy to block somebody. There's the holding call given to us by Steve Orozco. It's easy to block somebody when you got your hands underneath the jerseys and you got a handful of jerseys and you pick them up and drive them backwards.
Ball put down at the Santa Cruz 40, 1st and 16. And some motion now, so it'll be 1st and 21. As again, trying to get an early start was Bobby Torres on the right side. So Aptos, after getting this great field position, is going the wrong way.
Well, last week, the Aptos Mariners were down in Monte Vista Christian country and ended up going in at halftime, 14-13 lead, and ended up finishing the game 44 to 19 was the final score. But in that game, 17 penalties against the Mariners. Okay, they won the football game making that many mistakes, but you're not going to do it against good ball clubs.
And Santa Cruz is certainly that. 5:15 to go. Clock winds down towards halftime. 1st and 21 now. Ball at the 45. Vander Zanden fakes to the wingman and looks right side. He's got a man out there. That's Stevens. Comes back forward, makes the catch, and he goes in untouched for the touchdown. Dan Stevens catches the bomb on a great pass from Vander Zanden, and Aptos takes a 21-14 lead.
You know what's interesting about this game, Joel, is in the fly offense, and obviously you can see you can pass out of it. It's moving pockets type of pass, so you're not having the quarterback do the traditional straight drop. But we're seeing a lot of aerial games because both of these lines are doing a good job of snuffing out the run. Watch Stevens. Ball hangs up there. Stevens adjusts to it, comes back to the ball. Unfortunately, Michael Derlin does a little face guarding, and he could have got his hands caught in the cookie jar with a flag had Stevens not caught that ball. Actually, if I'm Borland, I'd have run into Stevens and caused him to drop it and only move the ball up 15 yards. But then again, I'm able to think after the play, which makes me sound like a genius up here.
That's right. We're all geniuses up here. Eric Eastman converts the kick once again. So with 4:59 to go first half, Aptos has extended a 1-point lead to 8. So the way this half has gone, we'll expect Santa Cruz to score here, get a 2-pointer, and why not? 22 all, huh?
Yeah, that's okay. Your serve and volley. Now, shoot, we're not even volleying. This is serve and return. So the Mariners get a chance to do that one. But you're seeing two offenses that know how to run it and can do different variations on a theme. 4 receivers in the pattern for Santa Cruz, been very effective. The speeds of the receivers. These receivers are actually outrunning the arms of their quarterbacks. Give you an idea how deep they're going and how fast they're getting there.
Back deep for Santa Cruz again, it's Steve Pinther. Man doing the kicking for Aptos is Eric Eastman. Ball is squibbed out of bounds, so that'll be a penalty. Santa Cruz again will have the option. And it appears as if they want to get going on offense. No need to make them re-kick it. They'll take it at the 35. And they'll have just under 5 minutes to work with as they try and knot this game up.
Not a bad decision. 35-yard line, good field position. And let's face it, the Aptos kicker, Eastman, is able to do that one, and we'll have to step away for a little bit. We'll be right back with some more second quarter action right after this.
The 17th season of the Game of the Week is brought to you by AT&T Broadband and KRUZ Channel 4 Sports.
Back to action here. It's 1st and 10 Cardinals at their own 35. Quarterback Jim Anderson puts a man in motion. That's Chris Kamahaho. Misdirection that time. Yellow flag comes flying in. Wetmore the carrier that time, and he was wrestled down. We'll check this flag. It appears again to be holding. And indeed it is. So Santa Cruz, whatever that virus was going on the Aptos side, they caught it in the Santa Cruz side.
See more holding here than you see out on a date sometimes. But actually, it's you get in the middle of the line. You get in there, and the offense or defensive linemen start to slide on you, and you know your running back's coming at you. You've got this tendency to get that flipper out there and bring your tackler back in.
They mark it from the spot of the foul, so it's a 9-yard penalty. 1st and 19 now at the 26. 4:40 to go first half. Split backs behind Anderson. Wetmore and Pinther. Allen in motion. Anderson keeps it. He's still got it in his hip pocket. He's got a man rolling out. That's Jared Hunter. Catches it. Nice play that time by Hunter. Nice fake by Anderson, and the throw on the rollout. Ball at the 47 of Santa Cruz, 1st and 10.
Great job by Anderson. Fakes the handoff inside, puts the ball on his hip, rolls to his right again. Nice job on the line for that moving pocket. Hunter, in the meantime, goes down the field and breaks, gets in that seam, inside that zone, mirrors the quarterback. Great job.
And we're rocking now. The Cardinal band trying to liven things up here. They'd like to see their team tie it up before halftime. Anderson give that time to the deep back. It's Pinther, and he falls forward for about 3 yards before getting drilled by number 8, Dustin Weber. It'll bring up a 2nd and 7 as we wind towards 3.5 minutes to go first half.
Now what Santa Cruz has to do is they have to keep everybody honest. All right, they know that they can throw the ball. That's the easy part. But they're also going to have to make sure that they maintain ground control. Keep it on the ground. Don't let these guys tee off and really come after your quarterback. Also, that keeps the defensive backs a little tighter to the line of scrimmage.
Cardinal ball at their own 48, 2nd and 7. Man in motion is Allen. Anderson, and some miscommunication that time, and Anderson's going to pay the price. And he does a yeoman's effort there to just get the ball back to the line of scrimmage as he was in a wrestling match with Big Steve Norton. And I don't see anyone on the field that'll win a match with him.
Now, and I'll tell you, to Anderson's credit, he was squirming and trying to get everything, and Norton just wrapped those big meat hooks around him and was able to just take him down. That was one of those things as a quarterback, when you're back there, you just hand the ball off and realize this is blowing up.
Anderson was able to reach the line of scrimmage, so it's still 3rd and 7, ball at the 48. Back to pass. He's looking left side. He's got a man out there again. It's Hunter. He stays in bounds. Spectacular catch by Jared Hunter at the 20-yard line of Aptos. 1st and 10, and the Cardinal offense is in business.
And that is just a straight mismatch on that one. Hunter just going down the sideline. That is one big string, being 6'5", matched up against Moreno, all 5'8" of him. You can get that ball up over the top. Nice placement by Anderson, and it's an easy touchdown. You get those big, tall receivers on those little scat back corners.
And I think we may see a replay here as we see a great job by Hunter
Again,
to not only catch it, Kurt, but stay in bounds.
And you can see some great blocking by that offensive line to cut down the defensive tackles. And that gives Anderson a 1.5 tons of time. Coming in late was Garrett Latore. And watch, here's that big receiver right over the shoulder, nicely placed.
Nice job by our cameraman there, and we will thank them accordingly when we have a break here. And our entire crew doing a great job here. 1st and 10 at the 20. Anderson rolls right. He's got protection, goes up to the short man. That's number 25, Kamahaho. And he's wrestled down inside the 15. So as we wind towards 2 minutes to go first half, Santa Cruz knocking on the door.
Knocking on the door. Stahl and Weber over there defensively for the Aptos Mariners. The aerial game, that's the story of the first half anyways. Both of these ball clubs being able to air this thing out and play football up over the top, the vertical game. And I like it. I really enjoy this.
7-yard gain that time. We're inside 2 minutes to go first half. Anderson with 4 receivers. Allen in motion. Rolls out left this time. He's got room again. He's got Allen open, and he drops it. Couldn't hang on that time. Number 9, Chad Allen, may have heard footsteps.
Oh, I think I know he heard footsteps. He had a blocker down there. All he had to do is catch and run. He had the running part down pretty good. The catch, that's kind of tough. But you're in traffic over there on the corner, and you know the defensive backs are going to come up. And you know also that your lunch is going to be handed to you real quick.
3rd and 3 now. Ball at the 12 of Aptos. Clock stopped with the incompletion. It's at 1:45 to go. Anderson pitches on a quick sweep. That's number 12, Wetmore. Thrown out of bounds, and they're actually going to wind the clock. Now they finally do stop it, probably for a measurement, as he was right at the orange pylon there.
I'll tell you, the chain gang over there on the far side, good a group of individuals, all volunteers, and they donate their time a lot. Santa Cruz going to call a timeout, and it looks like they're short by about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards, Joel. So now it's decision time. You've got a field goal kicker who can kick it and make it from this distance, but you also know that there's, you've got to be able to score. I understand that we've got an interview down with Kirsten Fairchild. So Kirsten, it is all yours. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Joel and Kurt. Joining me now is Lisa Likens, a senior on the Aptos High girls volleyball team. Lisa, you've been on varsity for 4 years. Tell me, how does this year's team rate compared to other Aptos teams you've been on?
This year we're definitely one of the better teams, possibly the best team so far out of my 4 years. We definitely have a lot of talent and a lot of potential with young girls. So
you played Santa Cruz earlier in the week, suffered a 3-game loss to them, beat Harbor last night, Thursday. What's it going to take the next time you face Santa Cruz again?
it's going to take a lot of focus and a lot of heart and just being pumped up, and we know we can do it. So it's a lot of hard work, and we're ready for them next time.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Up to you, Joel and Kurt.
Tries to hit Wetmore outside. Contact, no penalty called. So out of the timeout, Santa Cruz unable to convert. A big play that time for the Mariner defense.
Nice job by the Mariner defense and a huge play. You've got to be able, one of these defenses had to finally step up and stop the other offense from going up and down the field. And this time the Mariner defense did that. Great pursuit. They read the roll. They read the routes very well. Good job by the linebackers to fly out into coverage and be there right where the ball was supposed to be. I'll tell you, that is a tough pass. You get a quarterback on the run.
Now, Kurt, the way we've seen these offenses play, especially Aptos, it might be something where they want to go against conventional wisdom here and go for a big play, although it looks like they're just going to take a knee.
They got the old full house backfield. They're just going to right up the gut. Look at this.
Look at this. Here we go. Look like they might just run out the clock. Instead, Joe Wagner's all alone. Chasing him down is Hunter, who strips the ball. Fumble. It's on the ground, and Hunter recovers. What a play by Jared Hunter. A huge turn of events here.
Give Hunter huge credit. Chad Allen tried to do a sliding tackle and trip Wagner going down the field, and he missed him. But Hunter, holy cow, can that 6'5" frame cover some ground? And he did exactly what you wanted to do. And Wagner figured he had it. He has this baby. Hunter comes in, strips the ball away. Garrison has got to be fit to be tied. You want to talk about a bad time for a turnover? That's one right there.
And you want to talk about some hustle. Jared Hunter not giving up. As you said, Wagner had broken free. Wasn't the quickest guy on the field, as we saw there. And Hunter knew it too, and just a great hustle play by the man that Coach Faltas says will play in the Pac-10 next year. Rolling out now, it's the new quarterback, Paul Krogan. He hits Kamahaho for a nice gain, so the Cardinals, they have 2 timeouts to work with here with 1:09 to go. They've got the ball at their own 20-yard line, so they are going to try and score here and tie this up.
Oh, heck, I would. And let's see how they do with clock management. Run the ball to the outside. We'll probably see little sprint patterns, out patterns, trying to get the guys to the sidelines to save the timeouts to the best of their ability.
So again, it's Krogan now in there, Anderson out, and we've got a stoppage of play. The ball is just short of a first down. Or at least the man running the down marker has a 2 up there. And indeed it is 2nd and 1.
They'll see if Steve Orozco, I believe they're going to call for a measurement just to be on the safe side.
And indeed you are correct.
Our great angle and vantage point, I couldn't tell you one way or another. Depends on where the heel marks. Left heel or right heel? Good mark, bad mark?
Kurt, we would be remiss if we did not thank our crew, and I'm going to do that right now. Our producer and director tonight is Will Anderson, running the truck. He's got a replay technician down there, Rick Yabata, as the cheer goes up for a first down. Our camera people, Kat Thrasher, Kerry Rognaby, Jack Benson, technical assistance from Roger Ewell, and of course a great job down on the sideline by our reporter down there, Kirsten Fairchilds. So thank you one and all for a great job here tonight. Out of the measurement, it was indeed, as I said, a 1st and 10, ball at the 20, 1:09 to go, 2 timeouts for Santa Cruz. Man in motion, Kamahaho. Krogan rolls right before he can, though. The play is blown dead, which probably means someone jumped.
We have an illegal procedure. It's going to be against the Birds. So they're going to have to fly backwards about 5 yards before they can get this started again. That's not the time you want to have this. This is when your discipline comes in. This is when you want to execute as crisply as you possibly can, especially this deep in your own territory. Crown of Lud, you're on your 20-yard line. Now you back it up to the 15-yard line. That allows the defense to dig their heels in and really come flying.
1st and 15, ball at the 15. Krogan puts a man in motion, rolls right. He's got a blocker in front of him. He's got a man out there. He overthrows Reuben Miller, the sure-handed one. Those are the words of Coach Faltas himself, and it's incomplete. 2nd and 15, 1:02 to go.
Not a bad, if you're going to throw an incomplete pass, that's not a bad time to do it. I know you want everything completed, but Stevens had coverage over the top, and August had coverage underneath. So that pass is going to have to be dead on center to make it the completion. And again, you're asking the quarterback to roll out and make that play. That's tough.
Anderson now back in. Krogan to the sideline on 2nd and 15. Back to pass. Anderson looks like he wants to set up a screen. He does, but they sniff it out. Pass complete to Luke Wetmore, but before he could turn and figure out where he was drilled. And now it appears as if Aptos is going to use a timeout here. So defensively, they'd like to keep Santa Cruz deep in their own territory and force a punt.
The last 2 times Aptos has stepped up defensively when they've had to. That was a great defensive play by the linebacker, Zach Hewitt. Drop back into the flats, looking for a pass. smelled out the screen, went right between the blockers, and just drilled the ball carrier. And we talk about clock management before. This is a great job by the Mariners. Stop the clock.
And actually, Kurt, I made a mistake. Santa Cruz called that timeout.
Okay.
So they still feel like they can get it done offensively.
You might as well. You got a long-distance phone call right now to get the first down. Third down and about 20 to get there, but we've seen that they do have the passing capability to get there. If they can put one up and get Hunter to run underneath it, or some of these other good receivers.
Yeah, Jared Hunter, I was just wondering the same thing, Kurt. Why isn't he in there for the big play? And he's crouched down on the bench in front of us, so perhaps he's still a bit tired from chasing down Joe Wagner on the defensive side of the ball. So the big target not there right now for Anderson. 3rd and 20, 51 seconds to go. Ball at the Santa Cruz 10. Split wide, that's Derland. Motion man now is Kamahaho. Misdirection play, they go up the middle. And a nice gain that time. Clock stopped. We'll see who calls this timeout. The carrier that time, number 30, Steve Pinther.
That's the Mariners stopping the clock now. Oh, that's not a bad
seconds.
Call.
Yeah, they've got time.
They've got time, and we're watching Hunter head off to the locker room just a wee bit early, so he may have had his bell rung a little bit, which is one reason when he wasn't in there. But having something go up the middle like Kamahaho, we saw him break one earlier in the game. Again, if you can get your tackles or guards fired out, engage with the linebackers, and pop your running back through the hole, they can pick up large chunks of yardage in this style of an option offense. And that's not a bad move when you figure the corners and the linebackers are going to be a little bit soft to the line of scrimmage, anticipating a pass.
And Kurt, this is a big play upcoming. It's 4th and 11, which means Santa Cruz has to punt. And we mentioned it briefly earlier, but Aptos' special teams are very, very good.
They had a field day last week against Monte Vista Christian, against the Mustang. Van der Zanden blocking 2 punts. Now let me see if I can find 13 in there anywhere. Nope, he's over on the sidelines.
We'll see what happens. Back deep to punt for Santa Cruz. It's Wetmore. Back to receive for Aptos. That's Dan Stevens. Snap is good, and they almost blocked it. They did get a piece of it. Ball squibs out sideways, so the block that time by Justin Beezert. And again, we just talked about it. Special teams coming up big for Aptos.
Beezert came off the corner on the left side, absolutely untouched. Nobody laid a wing on him coming in, and the snap was a little low. That means Wetmore had to take just a little bit more time to field it, get in position to take that kick. And if you do more than a one-step kick with somebody barreling down on you, you're asking to have it blocked.
Van der Zanden under center. Ball at the Santa Cruz 20. Aptos 37 seconds and 2 timeouts to work with. And perhaps a bit over-anxious that time as we had a false start. So still, despite that penalty, they've got a real golden opportunity here to pad an 8-point lead before the half.
Guard on the left side. We watched him roll back into pass coverage. Plant that hand down there, and you just watch it roll back, and he lifted that paw off the ground, and he was caught.
Van der Zanden split backs behind him are Stevens and Zach Moody. 1st and 15. Looks to go maybe Stevens right side. No, he's going deep. He's got a man out there. It's number 3, Jesse Samples. Touchdown, Mariners. Nice. Kyle Van der Zanden to Jesse Samples. Nicely done that time.
Pretty pass, and again, the defenders for Santa Cruz lost where the receiver is, and you can't do that. If you've got over-the-top coverage, you've got to be able to roll over there. The corner's got to be with him. I saw both of the cover people for Santa Cruz with their backs to it. Kyle, quick drop, he looks at his feet, they keep moving, steps into his throw, and they lost contact with the receiver. They've got to look back in there, take a look, and you really have to play the receiver. When you see the receiver's hands come up, then you can put your hand right up between his hands and knock the ball away. But if you're looking back at the quarterback while the receiver's running their route, you're going to lose them, and that's exactly what happened on that play.
Boy, these last 2 minutes, Kurt, we've seen quite a change in momentum. Santa Cruz had the ball deep here. It looked like they would score. Aptos stopped them. You thought they may run out the clock. Instead, they get this long run that Santa Cruz's Jared Hunter makes a miraculous play to keep them from scoring. So then Santa Cruz says, we're going to try and score. They get a punt blocked, and now Aptos scores, and the PAT is good. So as I said, a wild sequence of events here. Score is 29-14 Aptos. 30 seconds to go. Will Santa Cruz try and score now?
Why not? We got 30 seconds to go with it. We're playing arena football. So, you know, you can obviously score within 30 seconds of arena football. Both these teams have the offensive potential.
They're on fire.
To do that. They are absolutely on fire around here. Both of these clubs, and the fans on both of the sides are just having a great time. Just having a wonderful time. We're just having all kinds of fun here in the booth. Just kind of wondering what's going to happen next.
Well, we'll see. We've got 30 seconds to find out. For Aptos, back to kick, it's Eric Eastman. Steve Pinther back there for the Cardinals. And we'll see what happens. I'm sure a lot will depend on what kind of return they can get, and then that'll decide if Coach Faltas tries to score. Low squib kick, and that might be a mistake. 35-yard line. So
yeah.
Santa Cruz, with 29 seconds and 1 timeout, could try something.
Why not? And you know, we'll take a look now. We saw Hunter head for the locker room. So a quick look at the sidelines. Now, there's only 27 ball players on the Santa Cruz sidelines. And by the way, that's sometimes a high number, because I can remember years gone by when the Cardinals maybe fielded 20.
Yeah, less than 20.
Less than 20. Of course, you guys, and I say that you being a graduate of Santa Cruz High School, had some great athletes come out of this school.
And we continue to see them here tonight. So we've got the ball, does Santa Cruz, and they give it up the middle. Breaking free, that's number 12, Luke Wetmore, and he gets about 9 yards. And it appears as if the Cardinals will let the clock run out. So surprising, they had 1 timeout to use there with 10 seconds to go. We'll see if they try one more play. Clock winds. 5, 4, 3. Will Anderson get it off? He does. And Wetmore's going to have to do a Jim Brown here. He can't. So that'll do it, folks. The end of the first half. 24 minutes in the books. The score, the visiting Aptos Mariners 29, the home team Santa Cruz Cardinals 14.
Welcome back to the game of the week. Well, the third quarter's just about to begin. Aptos High up 29-14 on Santa Cruz. Joining me now from the Santa Cruz High water polo team is senior Patrick Jacobson. Patrick, you've had such a terrific swimming and water polo career at Santa Cruz High. Tell us about your team, your water polo team this season.
Right now, we're looking very strong this year. We're 10-3 right now, so we're off to a very good start. And we have 2 more tournaments left in the season, and I think 3 league games. We won the first 2 league games, so we still have tough competitors, SoCal, SLV, so it should be good.
Now, I think it would be safe to say that you are the fastest swimmer in the county, in the 50 and the 100. Tell us what your goals are going to be when swimming rolls around in the spring.
My goals are really to improve this year. I have a lot of colleges kind of watching my times, and they just want to see me improve my senior year. And I didn't improve at all in my junior year in the 50 or the 100, so I really need to step it up this year.
Thank you very much. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, Joel and Kurt, for the kickoff.
Back for the second half. Kickoff is to the Cardinals. Steve Pinther, and he's drilled. A high tackle that time by Jesse Samples. Great special teams play from the Mariners.
You know, I'll tell you, if the Mariners are going to come out victorious on this game, it's going to be because of those special teams. They're just doing a great job. You know, blocked punt and now great coverage on the kickoff.
So as we open the second half, the Cardinals face a 29-14 deficit. And because of that special teams play, they face a long road ahead here to start the second half. The ball's at their own 17, 1st and 10. Quarterback Jim Anderson under center for the Cardinals. Some miscommunication there, nearly a fumble. Anderson hung on to it. He was manhandled there in that mass of
white, massive red.
There you go. Yeah, red too. They're all knocking into each other.
They are. We're watching something. We're watching these plays explode right behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, they're detonating before anything's going on. So Santa Cruz is going to have to just mentally regroup and start executing better. Otherwise, they're going to be handing this game to the Mariners, and they're already down by 2 touchdowns.
So a loss of 3 on the play, 2nd and 13 for Santa Cruz. Ball marked just inside their own 15. Split backs behind Anderson. Give is to number 12, that's Luke Wetmore. And little to no gain that time, so the Cardinals struggling on offense here to open the second half.
Well, we can see on the monitor that the Cardinals aren't really getting off the ball quite the way they should. So let's give that defense a lot of credit.
Gain of 2 on the play, so it's 3rd and 11. Ball at the 16. 3 receivers for Anderson, split backs behind him as well. Man in motion is Kamahaho. Anderson rolls right, he's still got it. And he's dragged down from behind. A nice play that time by number 42, Zach Hewitt. So the Mariner defense comes out firing here early. It's 3 and out for Santa Cruz.
That's what you want to see. You come out, and how do you start that 3rd quarter is so very important. And the Mariners defensively started with an exclamation point that we're just doing great.
And Kurt, our first look now at Paul Krogan as a punter. We saw Luke Wetmore handle those duties in the first half, so we'll see what Krogan can do with his foot. He's got the ball at his own end zone, and he gets off a nice kick, angling it towards the sideline, and it goes out of bounds inside the 40-yard line where Aptos will take over. So a fine punt that time by Krogan out of a difficult situation.
I'll tell you, that's one of the things you want to have. Your punter could be one of the best defensive weapons that you have by being able to get the ball down the field and yourself out of a hole.
Ball marked at the 38 of Santa Cruz. It'll be 1st and 10. Under center for the Mariners, it'll be number 8, Dustin Weber. As he looks to pad his team's 15-point lead, he's got great field position to work with, as we said. Looks like he's calling an audible here.
And a little kid, Weber actually is doing a little count job, and now everybody's got to get into it. Time is a-wasting.
Give is to number 24. That's Dan Stevens. Breaks the initial tackle attempt before going down, and he's shaken up. So this could be big. We saw Jim Anderson, the Cardinal quarterback, go down in the first half. He returned. We'll see what happens here with Stevens.
Well, Stevens took a shot. Handsman, number 66, a 245-pound defensive lineman, just stepped up and ripped right into the ball carrier and really stung him.
Well, Kurt, before we talk football again, we're going to talk business. It's time to thank our sponsors that help make the AT&T Game of the Week possible. First of all, to Scarborough Lumber. Secondly, to Whiting's Foods on the Boardwalk. Thanks also to Cardiff Pest Control. To Bailey Properties and to the Spa Fitness Centers. Thanks also to the Grocery Outlet, the Seacliff Inn, Best Western, and finally, King's Paint and Paper. We thank them for their support throughout the season here on the AT&T Game of the Week. Stevens up under his own power. He's going to walk to the sideline without a noticeable limp, so great news. In fact, now he jogs off, so
he probably just got that proverbial wind knocked out of him. Either that or he's answering an AT&T phone call somewhere out on the field.
Back to the action now. He got a yard on the play, so it's 2nd and 9. Ball's at the 37 of Santa Cruz. Third quarter just underway. Man in motion is Sunzeri. Back to pass. It's Weber. He's got a man out there, and it's complete. Touchdown, Mariners. Aaron August from Dustin Weber, but hold everything, folks. Your man Jesse is gonna bring it back.
You know, Roscoe says holding against those guys in the blue helmets. So the man in a white hat right there in the middle of your screen.
Well, to complete a bomb like that, you need time. So now we know how Weber got the time, but despite the penalty, an impressive catch and throw.
Yeah, I'll tell you. It helps when you have a little hands from Allstate every once in a while on that one, and they're backing it up. You say, okay, that's just an X number of yard penalty, a 10-yard penalty. Not when you figure you had 6 points on the other end of this thing. That is a huge penalty. But one thing the Mariners know is they can go back to the well again because it's working.
2nd and 19 now. Ball at the 49 of Santa Cruz. Give is to Torres on a sweep. He tries to get outside, but the pursuit is there. Number 40, Danny Concepcion, along with Ruben Miller. They snuffed it out that time. Great play by the defense. It'll be 3rd and a bunch.
Now, one of the things you're going to have to do, defense, is string them down along the line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what Miller did. He's the outside linebacker on the left-hand side, played flat to the line of scrimmage, did not let the running back turn it inside, forced him to that tackler who's never missed a tackle all season. It's called the sideline, and then everybody wrapped him up.
3rd and 18, ball at the 46 of Santa Cruz. Weber back to pass. He's got time. He's got a man open at Stevens' left side. It's a race to the corner, and Stevens wins it. 25-20, cuts back inside the 15. Dan Stevens is the key to that offense, and he just showed you why.
Well, that was a great route run by Stevens. Just gets out on the flats out on the left-hand side, and Weber hits him very well, and he just turns up the field, and you can see the explosive speed that Stevens has that makes him such a great weapon. The Stevens, again, you see him just get out there. Once he catches the pass, he just turns it upfield, and he just goes right through the gears so quickly, and you see the Mariners are in great position to score.
Sweep now to Samples' right side. Tries to race to the corner, but he can't do it. Again, it's Ruben Miller doing a good job of containment there. So 2nd and long upcoming for Aptos. And on that previous play, Kurt, as you said, I think the most important part, it's a very subtle part of that play, but it's the most key, and that is Weber hitting him in stride so that Stevens could catch it and still get going as he was running.
You know, it's so important. You watch these receivers in any level of ball, if they catch it in stride, they've got the ability to really rack up some yards after the catch. It's when they have to stop, get off balance, and not even, that they have trouble.
Samples got 4 on the sweep. It's 2nd and 6, ball at the Cardinal 11. Give this time is to Torres. He cuts it upfield, and he's finally dragged down. He squirmed his way inside the 10-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and short.
Now Torres, you get those little guys in there, and if those big horses across the defense get up and get underneath them, you want those little scat backs to be able to catch those blocks. And there's a good shot of the Santa Cruz Cardinal defense, who've been backing up here as of late, and that's not a direction you want your defense to go.
Big play here for the Cardinal defense to try and hold Aptos to a field goal attempt. It's 3rd and 4. It was at the 9, but I'm afraid now from the Aptos perspective, it'll be at the 14.
Well, Zach Moody got a little bit of light in the pockets, and he jumped a little bit prematurely before the play got underway. And you can again see Steve Orozco rolling those hands, and that's traveling in basketball, and it's traveling in football too. You're just traveling backwards.
Ball just inside the Cardinal 15 now. It's 3rd and 9. Clock winds towards 6.5 to go, 3rd quarter. Aptos with the ball and a 15-point lead. Dustin Weber under center. Give is to the up back. Missed his number that time, Kurt, as he was in a sea of red. I believe it was number 36, Zach Moody. And good play there from the Cardinal perspective. They'll force the field goal attempt by Eric Eastman.
Again, that play looked like it was more designed to get the ball in the middle of the field. Zach Moody, it's also a job to allow Moody to get his hands on the football to sort of regain that composure that he needed, jumping a little prematurely.
Ball will be marked at the 20. It's a 30-yard attempt off the foot of Eastman, and it's blocked. A big block, and the ball is live. The Cardinals finally figure it out, and they break out. Right side, it's Kamahaho. He won run sprint earlier, and he was dragged down that time, but not before returning it to the 46. So again, Kurt, we preached it throughout. Special teams are very important. We just saw why again.
Special teams, special teams. And you can see these coaches do a great job of working these special teams. There's Danny Concepcion. He's a wounded Cardinal down on the deck. He's down back about the 15-yard line or so, about 12-yard line. And you can see the coach, he's very disgusted working. He's got that clipboard in there, going to check his playbook to see what else he's going to have. And watch this. Here's the kick attempt, just tipped right off the fingertips. And you're right, you know, these are now live. And this looks like a jailbreak coming out of there. Kamahaho finally breaks loose, and then the track meet is on. And you got to be able to just run it down the field, kicker and in pursuit. And we still have that injured Cardinal down there at about the 12-yard line. It's Concepcion. Great job, special teams. And sometimes that's the team that the thing that's just going on. And there we go. We see him limping off the field. Nice clean picture we've got there of the young man limping off the field. And we're back at it.
Kurt, we've mentioned his name throughout tonight. Coach Bassel Faltas told me that Luke Wetmore is basically the man who does it all and does it all well. And I was able to catch on that replay that he's the man that blocked that field goal. So Luke Wetmore making his presence felt in all aspects of the game. That was a huge play in this third quarter as the Cardinals now with the ball at their own 46. They trail by 15 inside 6 minutes to go, third quarter. Anderson under center. He puts a man in motion. That's Pinther. Gives to Pinther on a sweep. It's cut off, so he cuts it back, and he squirms his way free across midfield. Nice job by Steve Pinther making something out of nothing. About a 6-yard gain into Aptos territory. It'll be second and short.
Number 44, Latore on the tackle. I actually thought that Pinther was going to get wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage because I saw Hewitt come flying on in there. The Aptos defense did a great job of stringing out that play, but Pinther found just the tiniest of cracks and was able to screw right through it.
Conditions ripe for a Cardinal comeback. The wind that I mentioned at the top has died, so certainly if they want to throw the ball, they can. Anderson now gets his man split wide. That's Michael Derlin. Puts a man in motion. That's Chad Allen. Give us to Allen on the sweep right side. He's tripped up by number 11 for Aptos. A nice play by Justin Beezert, so it'll be third and short.
Beezert doing a good job getting across the line of scrimmage and then wrapping up Chad before he really had a chance to turn it up the field. There's a good shot of that big defensive front for the Aptos Mariners. Norton, number 70. He looks like a defensive lineman.
Does he got a couple 252 or
no, he looks close. He's got a couple of rocks in those pockets. He's closer into the 300 side. But he is the anchor up front. What he does, he could really plug up the middle. He does that when that really forces the Cardinals to go outside.
No gain for Allen. It's 3rd and 4. Ball at the Aptos 49. 3 receivers for Anderson, who's back to pass. Looks right side, double teamed is Hunter, but it may not matter. He jumped up and bobbled it. A great attempt that time by Hunter. And Anderson obviously not afraid to throw into double coverage because Hunter, as we said, is 6'5". He's got great athletic ability, and he darn near pulled that one in.
Now, you know what? You've got a receiver like that. You might as well be able to do that. And Hunter's that type of a receiver, the old alley-oop style pass, especially when you've got a mismatch, somebody that tall against a shorter defensive back.
It appeared as if the Cardinals would go for it there, but now they sprint on with what looks like the punt team, although Paul Krogan didn't know it. Now he does. He sprints to his position at his own 35. Back deep for Aptos. It's Dan Stevens. Krogan, will they try a fake? No, he gets off a good high punt. Stevens under it, almost drilled, but he avoids it. Gets it at the 20, across the 30, 35, across the, close to the 40, I should say. So a nice return by Dan Stevens for Aptos.
Great return, but there is a flag down at about the 26-yard line, and that's usually a great indication of an illegal block. If you want to call it a clip, that's a possibility, and it is going to be against the Mariners. Before they can set sail down the field, they're going to have to back up towards land a little bit. And that's one of those things when you get these people flying down the field, and that was one of those types of punts. It was really high, allowing solid coverage, and we catch him just a little bit late. There's the block in the back just before we rolled on out, but that's a super job by Stevens, just getting up the field.
And Kurt, let's talk strategy here. We're inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Coach Faltas that time had a 4th and short at midfield, elected to punt. What do you think?
Good question. You know what? It really depends on how everything comes out. At various times, that's a great play, and other times you sit back and go, shoulda, coulda, woulda. That's the great thing about being a Monday morning quarterback. You know what?
Very easy, as we said in the first half, to be up here and pretend like we know it all. We don't know much. We do know that it's 3:58 to go, third quarter. Aptos has the ball with a 15-point lead, and apparently the referees aren't sure what's going on. It's the first time we've had this sort of delay.
Well, nice little caucus going on across the field. Here's a peek at that scoreboard. I love it when the siren goes. If you're underneath that scoreboard and you don't realize that you're cutting down to 0 and that siren goes off, you look around and see if the county jail is just getting ready to evacuate.
Hey, let me tell you something about this scoreboard, though. It's nice to see that all the lights work. When I was here, you wouldn't know if that 3 was a 8 or a 7 or a 1. So nice to see that they could afford some light bulbs here at Santa Cruz High.
They've got that one. And, of course, now they're redoing the floor inside the Feldman, which is absolutely great. Here's Steve Orozco. He's indicated the clipping block. And didn't see all of it.
Wow.
But
I see what happened. It was 4th and short, and they called the penalty
4th and short
somehow before he received the punt, which means that it wasn't a post-possession foul, which means the Cardinals will get first down. So this is a huge turning point here for the Cardinals.
So that was a big caucus to make sure that what they were going to call was in the books. Big break. You are so right, Joel. Big break for the Cardinals. Now, the Aptos defense has to step up. A lot of these guys go both ways. They can start to get a little bit tired. Just inside 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. They have to make a stand.
Ball just inside the 35 of Aptos, 1st and 10. New life for the Cardinal offense and Jim Anderson. 3 receivers, man in motion is Kamahaho. Give us to Kamahaho on the sweep. He tried to look for some daylight. None was there, so a short gain. It'll be 2nd and about 8 for Santa Cruz.
This time what Aptos is doing defensively on that side, they're stepping across the line of scrimmage, sealing it out. So if there's no option play, they're taking the running back straight up, so he has no choice. He's either have to get cut it deeper and try and get around the corner, which is not a good option, or cut it up the field and do the best they possibly can, which is what they're doing, and hoping that the big offensive front that they've got is able to push the ball down the field. And right now I've got hats off to the Santa Cruz line, especially Jared Jenkins, number 53, the center.
Pinther and Whitmore split behind Anderson on 2nd and 7. Man in motion, Chad Allen. Fake to Allen, give instead to number 12. That's Whitmore. And he gets across the 30-yard line to about the 27. So it'll be 3rd and short. Another big play coming up for the Cardinal offense.
Good job by number 56. Shane Ralph did a nice job from the tackle. Breaks down, gets to the linebacker. That's his assignment. Break from his left or offensive tackle position. Get to the linebacker, tie him up. That allows the runner to get around the corner and pick up the necessary yardage that they need. It's still 3rd, but it's if Shane doesn't make that block, it's 3rd and a lot more.
We're going to call it 3rd and 4. We're likely in 2-down territory from the Cardinal perspective as we wind towards 2 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Anderson gives to the deep back Pinther. He goes up the middle, across the 25. It'll be real close to a first down. And I see your man Orozco putting his fist up. So it'll be 4th and short. So again, another big play for the Cardinal offense.
Zach Hewitt doing a great job, coming up huge for the Mariners from his linebacker position to step up and make that one. Also big number 70 Norton's being able to do it, but credit the backer for the stop on that play.
So here we go, folks. Inside 2 minutes to go, 3rd quarter, 4th and short for the Cardinals. Give us to Pinther up the middle. He dives across, and he'll have plenty for the first down. The pro Cardinal crowd below us likes it. New set of downs as we wind towards a minute to go, 3rd quarter. Ball at the Mariner 22.
And they ran right over the top of Hensman, and that is just a super guy to go over the top of. 6'6", 245 pounds, sat right in behind him and pushed right across. That is how you execute that play.
Pinther and Wetmore split behind Anderson. 2 receivers left. And now Hunter goes wide right. Man in motion is Kamahaho. Fake to Kamahaho. Instead, they go up the middle. Actually, they did give it to Kamahaho. He didn't get much. So it'll be 2nd and long.
Again, on this type of an offense, when you get motion, and that's a great job by Anderson. First give is to it. He has his keys to read, reads his keys accordingly. You've got 2 options there, but that was a good read by the defensive left side for the Aptos Mariners safeties and everybody else coming up to make the hit.
Kamahaho out, Allen in for the Cardinals on 2nd and 9. Ball at the Mariner 21. Inside a minute to go, 3rd quarter. Hunter split right, Miller left. Allen goes in motion. Anderson still has it. He's got a ton of room in front of him at the 10, the 5, touchdown, Jim Anderson.
Oh, man, Joel, I'll tell you one thing. The corners on that play, Marino just stuck with his receiver, who is Reuben Miller on that side, and he never looked back to see what was going on. And, I mean, I might have, with the aid of a skateboard, might have been able to make it in there. Somebody pushing me on the skateboard.
A huge hole that time for Anderson to work with. And we talked about on the Aptos side of the ball as far as carrying out those ball fakes. And that was the key part of that play. Kick is up and good by Nick Borohoff. So the score now, Aptos 29, Santa Cruz 21, 42 seconds to go, 3rd quarter.
Boroff sure showed me that he's got a lot of legs. And I really like Anderson. He does a nice job of going through the fakes. And the great thing about it is when he comes out of this whole fake situation, we've got nothing but a whole bunch of green. Watch this. There's fake 1. The running backs are going through. We're just going to roll the pocket out. He puts the ball on his back hip. And he's looking downfield for somebody, and all of a sudden he realizes, hey, there's not a white shirt. There's still not a white shirt. I want to know if there's somebody still there, and he's in easy on that one. Stevens coming over, but a little bit late.
Well, perhaps
just a tough one.
I was going to say, perhaps from the Aptos defense's perspective. And we're going to go down to Kirsten Fairchilds, who has an interview on the sideline.
Thank you very much, Joel and Kurt. Joining me now while we watch this kickoff is the Aptos High #1 doubles team. Megan Dorian on my right, Danielle Moreno on my left. Let's really quickly, as the Cardinals get set up here, Megan, your team has done so well this year. Aptos High undefeated. What is it about the Mariners always so tough in tennis?
Well, we work really hard to do what we do, and we're just trying to keep up our record here and keep on winning.
Now, Danielle, you're partners with this young lady. You're the #1 doubles team, always so tough. Tell us, why are you such a good team?
I think we're such a good team is because we practice so hard together, I think, and we've come to work really well together. We're pretty comfortable with each other, and I think that's what makes us really confident, because we know both of our abilities, and we work good together.
Are you guys going to be going to CCS?
Oh, hopefully we will.
their goal. Thank you very much, ladies. Back up to you guys.
All right, Kirsten, thank you very much. Jesse Samples on that kick return was drilled by the Cardinals special team, so Aptos has the ball at their own 23, 1st and 10. Give us to the fullback. That's Joe Wagner. He breaks free. A huge gain for Aptos just inside the 40, so a good first down play for Aptos out of that kickoff.
You absolutely have to love the way that Wagner hits that hole, and especially the way that offensive front opens it up. Wagner does a nice job of taking that ball. I think there's ways that running backs take the balls away from quarterbacks that you know they want the football. Wagner showed that time he wanted the football.
1st and 10, ball at the Aptos 38. Under center, it's Kyle Vanderzanden for the Mariners. Sunzeri in motion, and it's a give to him on the sweep. He goes across the 40, and he's finally drilled down. Short gain that time. It'll be 2nd and long for Aptos to start the 4th quarter. 36 minutes in the books, folks. After 3, Aptos 29, Santa Cruz 21. Back for the 4th quarter in just a moment.
Hey, check this out.
Whiting Foods on the boardwalk. Work with friends at the beach. Flexible schedules. The league leader in employment for students and athletes. Whiting's Foods, a fun place to work. Check out the website, whitingsfoods.com. Family owned and operated for nearly 50 years. Aldo's at the Yacht Harbor, tradition for 38 years.
My dad built this business by bringing in fresh fish and by making fresh bread, pasta, and raviolis daily.
And at Aldo's Bakery, you'll find baked goods fresh every day.
My family has been part of the Santa Cruz community for over 50 years. My brother and I played high school sports. Our children are also involved. We know from firsthand experience these programs help our kids develop the confidence needed to move our community into the future. Join us for good things to eat.
When you work with young people like I do, you have to get to know them so you know how to motivate them. It's the same for my business, the Felton Grocery Outlet. Only here I don't have to motivate the customers. My prices will do that. I have to motivate my staff to make sure our store gives the finest service anywhere, whether I'm here on the track or here in our store. You can count on one thing. We all give 100% to our customers and to our community.
Felton Grocery Outlet, giving 100% to our community is what we're all about. Your home is too important to trust just anyone. Cardiff Pest Control has been serving Santa Cruz County over 60 years with their proven techniques and top professionals.
The challenge facing me is to maintain our 63-year tradition of local ownership and dependable service.
When you talk to Cardiff, you talk to
me. Call us anytime. We've been here for 63 years. We're here when you need us. We are your pest solution.
Back for the start of the 4th quarter, Joel Domhoff alongside Kurt Edwards. First play of the quarter for the Mariners was a give off the right side to Dan Stevens. He got about 6 yards, so it'll be 3rd and 1 here. Aptos has the ball at their own 47. They lead 29-21 in a very entertaining high school football game, Kurt.
You know, it's a great way to spend a Friday night that's out there. And they're just going to have to, I wouldn't be too surprised if we see it deep.
Vander Zanden under center, and before he could do anything, we had some movement up front. So third and short will become third and a little bit longer here for Aptos. So a big stop here for the Cardinal defense's perspective, as their offense just scored. They'd like to get it back in Jim Anderson's hands to try and tie this thing up.
Well, a 3-and-out would be absolutely what the doctor ordered for the Cardinals, and everything just jumps. Bassel just jumped a little bit too quick, and you can see the big tackle.
3rd and 7 now, ball at the 42 of Aptos. Vander Zanden under center. He's got split backs behind him, Stevens and Wagner. Give us to Wagner right side. He's met at the line of scrimmage and thrown down by Jared Hunter. So Coach Bassel Faltas got what he wanted there, a 3-and-out. Aptos will have to punt, 10:40 to go in the game. The Cardinals will have the ball.
Well, that time Becerra did a nice job of redeeming himself. Good job of blocking back down inside. He was the one that jumped and cost him the 5 yards the play before.
Pinther back deep for the Cardinals. Snap is high, but it's handled by Marino, who gets off a nice, impressive high kick. Fair caught by Pinther just inside the 30. And that's where the Cardinals will take over. 10:21 to go. Aptos leads by 8.
Well, now it'll be entertaining to see how Santa Cruz comes at it offensively. They're down by 8, which is, you know, obviously you can go for 2s, tie the ball game up. You've got a pretty good kicker if you want to set it up. So they're going to need 2 scores to win this. How quickly do they want to go down the field? They've got the ability on the ground game to grind it out, but we've seen that they can go up top very, very easily.
Nice to see number 40, Danny Concepcion, sprint onto the field. He replaced Pinther there at the last second for the Cardinals, so he's back after that injury that appeared serious. And he gets the ball, sweep right side. Appears to have his speed intact, but he can't quite turn the corner. He gets across the 30 for a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd and about 8.
Now, number 86, Keenan, who's down on the sidelines here on the near side, got a cramp on those calves, and anybody that's ever had those knows that they hurt just a little bit. Did a great job of stringing out Pinther. That was Concepcion, as Concepcion was coming around the sideline, and by doing that, that prevented Concepcion from turning the corner, and that's what you've got to do on a corner, from a corner position, Joel. You've got the force. You've got to step up the field. You've got to force the running back to basically fish or cut bait. That was a good job. Those cramps hurt. These guys have been out there really selling out, especially if you're in one of those wide receiver cornerback positions. You're running all night long.
One of these teams will move to 2-0 in league play tonight, as they both won their league openers. We mentioned Aptos's rout of Monte Vista. The Cardinals last week in their homecoming game beat Harbor 17-7. So an early advantage sought here, as one of these teams, as I said, will go 2-0. All right, 2nd and 8, ball at the Cardinal 31, 10:15 to go. Split backs behind Anderson, Kamahaho in motion. And they didn't fool him that time, as Luke Wetmore was drilled as soon as he got it. A huge loss that time, and it'll be 3rd and long.
Number 66, Diaz, did a great job of just shooting the gap. And you've got a different set of situations. I didn't see whether he was just single gapping it, which means he's lining up between 2 offensive linemen. Whatever it was, his anticipation was great. Whoever was assigned to block Diaz didn't. And he just ate up the ball carrier. Diaz comes in at, he's kind of a fire hydrant, 5'6", about 220 pounds.
That sounds like a fire hydrant to me. 2nd and 6 becomes 3rd and 9. Inside 10 minutes to go now. Cardinals need to rally. Hunter split wide right. 4 receivers for Anderson to choose from. He's going to throw double coverage for Hunter. He's out of bounds. The Cardinal crowd wants interference, but I'm not sure, Kurt, correct me if I'm wrong. I know at some levels of football, you can't go out of bounds and come back to catch a pass.
In any level of football,
any level, okay. So,
and
wouldn't have mattered.
Wouldn't have mattered at all. He was out of bounds, and that's where all the pushing and shoving took place. So, again, I love these home crowds. and especially the Hearts, they wear them on their sleeve, and that's great for this community and the football that is played here, but it would have been a moot point if Hunter even caught the ball.
Back deep to punt for Santa Cruz. It's Paul Krogan to receive it as Samples. A low snap. He tries to get it off. It's blocked. Over there to get it for Santa Cruz is number 7, Reuben Miller. He tries to advance it forward. We've got flags down. All kinds of stuff going on.
Again, a poor snap, and we talk about special teams. And I think there's 2 things in football that are extremely difficult to do. One is kick a field goal. The other one is long snapping, because you've got to have your head, you know you're going to get crunched. Your head's down between your knees, and you're snapping that thing a long ways. There's Steve Orozco waving off the flag. First down is going to be for the Mariners. And as soon as that ball short hopped the kicker, and I was watching Stevens come in, and he was coming in with all guns blazing, you knew this play was going to detonate real quick.
Yeah, not much Krogan could do there, but try and get it off as he did. Otherwise, no matter what he did, he would have been smothered. So, as you said, a big play for Aptos' special teams, and they could really put the Cardinals in a hole here. They have the ball. They lead by 8. And they're at the Santa Cruz 30-yard line. Actually, they're going to mark it at the 28, so not much distance for Dustin Weber to cover here before his Mariners can increase this 8-point lead.
Well, the Mariners right now, they can keep it on the ground. They're in control of the scoreboard and the clock, so if they want to grind this thing out, they sure can.
They fake to Stevens and instead give it to Moody, and he's going to break outside and score! Zach Moody puts the Mariners up 35-21 on a beautiful misdirection. They all went towards Stevens. Moody had the daylight. He found it and beat him to the corner of the end zone. So inside 9 minutes to go, Aptos looking to seal it. Impressive run by Zach Moody. Eric Eastman is kicking for Aptos. It's up and good. So with 8:55 to go now in the ball game, Aptos with a 36-21 lead over Santa Cruz. And now Coach Faltas, Kurt, has to pull out his 2-minute offense.
You got to go up in the air, Junior Birdman. That's all there is to it on this one. Anyhow, that last touchdown run by Moody, you watched the great ability of this option offense to do things. And one of them is Moody, who took that handoff just a little bit of a delay, watched everything happen behind him, so then he just kicks it out to the left-hand side. He runs as fast as I do in this slow motion replay, but I run that in full motion. But he just, I mean, this is just fullback heaven. Nothing but real estate, and just get there before anybody else does.
Yeah, usually, Kurt, it's the running backs, the receivers that get that kind of daylight, get to have that fun sprint, and it's rare to see a fullback get it. Moody did, and he took advantage. And as I said, I think the key was because they were all looking at Stevens on that misdirection.
Oh, I agree with you completely. And that was a great fake by Stevens to sell out that he had the football.
Steve Pinther and Chad Allen deep. Allen tries to get it. He falls on it inside the 10. So a tough break there for the Cardinal special teams as the squib kick that time sort of fooled Chad Allen. Looked like a bad hop to a shortstop that time.
Yeah, well, it reminds me of some of the old days at Harvey West when the grounds had had the third game and that ball takes sideways bounces. And that's what footballs will do. And of course, in high school and college football, as soon as you pounce on that ball, it's dead. And I got the biggest kick out of Allen. He wanted to kind of gain some yards. Well, maybe if I jump up real fast, nobody's watching, I can pick up a couple of yards. But this is, again, the Cardinals are in terrible field position, and the Aptos defense just keeps coming up bigger and bigger.
You said it, terrible. 1st and 10 at their own 9, inside 9 minutes to go. If anyone can come back, though, it's this Cardinal offense. We've seen them make some huge plays. Tonight, they'll need a couple more now. Man in motion is Kamahaho. Give is to Kamahaho. I'm not sure if the ball was down on the ground that time, but either way, no gain for Santa Cruz, so it'll be 2nd and long.
Again, you're watching great pursuit from the interior part of the Aptos defensive line and the outside people, as Hewitt really flying out there and Norton flying out there. Here's Hunter getting back in the game. Bet you a nickel we're going to see something go over the top. It's been pretty effective, but these receivers are outrunning their quarterbacks, and that's not good.
Or perhaps Coach Faltas has a trick up his sleeve, and he'll use Hunter as a decoy, as Aptos did with Stevens. 4 receivers all to the right side, roll out for Anderson. He's got time, he's got a man out there. It's Hunter who somehow has the ball go through his hands. Not sure what happened there, if he lost it in the lights, but it looked like he really somehow misjudged it. Don't know what happened there, but either way, 3rd and 9.
That's one of those tough ones where you've got the 3 receivers to the side. Each run runs a down and out at different stages, so it's basically a ladder. You can throw the one underneath, or Hunter, which was the one in the middle, or go deep. It really depends on the quarterback, what they see, and can they get the ball to that receiver. Good choice by Hunter. Ball was delivered with a little bit more zip on it. Hunter went up, and it looked like, you're right, it went right through the uprights, right through his hands.
Well, you said it's dependent on what the quarterback sees. It's obvious why he'd see Hunter, as we've mentioned.
How can he miss
the
it?
biggest target, 6'5". 3 receivers now on 3rd and 9. Roll out again for Anderson right side. He's got time. Plants, throws deep. Hunter's out there again. He's got it. He wins the jump ball. Brought down at the 34-yard line. Big play there. 1st and 10 Cardinals.
I'd say I'm really liking Hunter, and it looked like that Anderson might have had his arm hit just as he was releasing that football. But Hunter, hey, I got to give my buddy Bobby Toledo down there at UCLA a call, because this kid is one heck of a receiver, and my little baby Bruins could love to have this. And watch this. Great moving pocket. Good job by everybody blocking downfield, especially Wetmore. Looked like just maybe at the last minute that ball was tipped, but a great reaction by Hunter.
Quickly now, Anderson throws right side. He's got a man out there. It's Reuben Miller. And he makes the diving catch across the 40, so a gain of about 6 on 1st down there. And it appears as if we have a penalty.
Now, I kind of like that play. They used Hunter as a decoy.
Pass interference, offensive pass interference, so that gain will be nullified by the penalty. So
I'm going to take a guess that as Reuben Miller broke to go for the football, he decided to push off his defender. On that play, Hunter was just about 5 to 10 yards farther down the field. He ran a little clear out with Miller coming underneath. There's Orozco giving us the definitive call. And right now, this is not, Joel, I'm sorry, what the Cardinals really want to see happen is reverse.
Yeah, they're heading the wrong direction. The ball now at their own 18. 1st and 25. They've got to get to the 43 for a 1st down. Good news from their perspective is it is 1st down, so they don't have to get it all at once. 3 receivers split wide left for Anderson, and he looks that way. On the slant, it's Miller. They sniff it out, though, do the Mariners, so very short gain for Miller, and it'll be 2nd and long.
At this point of the game, the defensive backs for the Aptos Mariners can play a little bit more of a cushion, 5 yards or so off. So if the Cardinal receivers are just going to do a little hitch right in front of the defensive backs, the backs now have the ability to read, see what that receiver is going to do, then be able to step up and make the hit, and that's exactly what Moreno did.
Not sure why it's 3rd down. Apparently that penalty before was a loss of down. I thought it was a repeat of the down, but either way, it's 3rd and long, ball at the 22. Anderson rolls right. He's got time. He's got a man deep. Miller. And that's got to be a penalty, and it is. They've got it right that time. There's
boy, they were coming in.
Mayhem on the sideline.
They had fighter cover all over the place. Weber number 8 in there, Moreno number 8 in there, and Ortega 85. I think they had the entire defensive backfield covering Hunter, and that's going to be a 1st down. Even though it doesn't cover the distance, Joel, high school ball pass interference is an automatic. It's 10 yards plus an automatic 1st down.
That's
huge
right.
break for Santa Cruz. Huge break.
Well, they need those types of breaks. They trail by 15, 6:39 to go here. They have the ball now at their own 38. As you said, a fresh set of downs. And quickly the Cardinals come to the line. 4 receivers for Anderson. Lone back is Wetmore. Anderson looks to throw a quick slant. It isn't there. He pulls it back in, tries a jump pass, and they'll rule it incomplete. Could have been called a fumble, but they'll say his arm was going forward. So yet another break for Santa Cruz. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Oh, be still my heart. Now Weber, number 8, coming through, leaping up, getting in front of the quarterback, which causes Anderson to have to pull that pelota back down for just a second, then brings it back up. And just as he's starting to bring it forward, then the arm gets in on his and just drops the ball through. But man, that was so close to a fumble.
Hunter and Miller split wide right. On the left side, it's Derland. And the lone back behind Anderson is Wetmore on 2nd and 10. Man in motion, Concepcion. Fake to him. Anderson keeps, rolls left side. He's looking to run. He tries to squirm his way through, but not going to get by number 44, Garrett Latore, who made a nice tackle there. It'll be 3rd and long.
Sweet job by Latore, 44, the outside linebacker. Drifts out into the hook to curl zone, reads it as soon as he realizes that the quarterback's going to bring the ball up the field. He steps up and makes a tackle. But I'll tell you, Bennett did a nice job in there from his defensive tackle position to really goof things up.
3rd and 10 for the Cardinals. 3 receivers right. Anderson rolls that side. He's got a blitz coming, but it's picked up. He finds a man. That's Concepcion, who falls across the 45. They're going to mark him down at the 47, and as we look here, it appears as if he will be short.
Mariners showing a lot of blitz packages, bring in linebackers, bring in safeties. They realize that they're going to have to hurry that quarterback, and they're just going to try and outman the guys at the get 6 there and bring them and see if 5 can block 6. Mathematically, that's a little tough to do. Of course, unless somebody's 300 and some odd pounds, then maybe you can block 2 at the same time.
Well, Kurt, we've heard a lot of barking going on this side of the stadium from Cardinal fans. Have not liked some of these calls from the refs, and certainly a questionable spot there, as I thought Concepcion had fallen forward, but they didn't give it to him, so it's a big play now. 4th and 1, ball at the 47, 5:46 to go. Deep back is Pinther, and they give it to him right side. He's going to have to bull rush his way, and he does. Impressive running that time by Steve Pinther. Gets the ball to midfield. 1st down, Cardinals.
Now, Pinther was hit behind the line of scrimmage by Weber, number 8. Lines up at the left side linebacker position. And he acts like a linebacker. You can see the fingers twitch. The eyes are probably spinning around in the center of his head. He steps across, hits Pinther behind the line of scrimmage. Gives you an idea how tough that running back is.
Size doesn't matter. He's 5'6", 160. Wouldn't have known it there. Fresh set of downs. Anderson rolls left. He's got time. He's going to throw. He overthrows his intended receiver out there on the left. That was Pinther. So it'll be 2nd and 10. 5:22 to go.
Looked like Stahl was on the coverage, number 25 on that side. That's one of those types of passes that you might as well just unleash a gunshot over the top of everybody. The coverage is right there. Chances of getting it intercepted or knocked away are pretty good. The coverage was very good that time for the Aptos Mariners. Cardinals still looking for that big play. They got to get the ball down the field. Still have a lot of time.
2nd and 10, just short of midfield. 3 receivers right side. Lone back, Wetmore. Anderson rolls right. Looks for a man deep. He's throwing it up to Hunter again, and he brings it down again. Jared Hunter using all of his 6 feet 5 inches to pull that one in. He's brought down just inside the 30 of Aptos. It'll be 1st and 10, 5:15 to go.
You think they might rehearse this play just more than once in practice? Roll out, look for the big guy, throw it as high as you can, throw it up around the 10-foot line and let the big man go up and haul it down. Worked before, and it continues to work.
Cardinals need to score and score quickly because they need to get it back to have a chance at this one. Fake to the man in motion, and Anderson keeps it and rolls left. He's got a man out there. He throws it too far. Not sure if he was going to Reuben Miller or Michael Derland, but either way, it falls incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Well, he took a shot. He being Anderson took a shot from Latore just as he released it. Now, if you're a receiver, you see your quarterback rolling one way or another. You've got to continue that role with him. And if you've got real estate to work with towards the sidelines, go with it. Both those receivers started to pull up a little bit. That made the throw a little bit more dangerous because now you're throwing into coverage.
2nd and 10 now for Jim Anderson. He's got 3 receivers. They're not sure where they're supposed to be. And because of that confusion, it looks like we're going to have a timeout. So costly there, not able to get the play in. They weren't sure of their formation, so that could come back to haunt them. We'll see. But either way, we've got 4:54 to go, 4th quarter. Aptos with a 15-point lead, and here's the replay. Kurt on that hit on Anderson.
Watch Anderson. Latoure's got him. Nice rip right in there. The ball is slightly behind the receivers, and a little bit of that could be due to the fact that Anderson saw Torrey coming and he had to hurry it up, could not get his feet set the way he wanted to bring the ball back down the field. But as a quarterback, you want to lead them to the most open spot of the field you possibly can. And again, I'll step back. Easier said than done when you are on the run and you're looking down the field, and out of the corner of your eye comes a pair of 4s running down at you. Okay, and we've got a little bit of time here. We'll go down to Kirsten.
Thank you, Joel and Kurt. I'm here with Emily Reed, the outside hitter for the Santa Cruz High volleyball team, a 4-year varsity member. Emily, you're undefeated and in first place. You had quite a week this week playing Aptos. Tell us a little bit about that match.
It was a tough match. They played really well. We came out strong in the end. We had a lot of people there at our game supporting us, our band. It was a good game. We played hard.
Now, you've been playing for the Cardinals for 4 years. Tell me, what's this team like? What is it compared to? I asked Aptos High Lisa Likens that earlier in the game. You tell me.
We have a really strong work ethic. We're having to go through a lot of stuff with the gym, our practice times, but it's just making us better. We're really tough mentally and physically.
Tell us about the gym. You're not able to play here at Santa Cruz High. You're over at Mission Hill. Have you settled in there?
Yeah, we have. We played at Harbor, Holy Cross, Mission Hill, but we're making it our home, so it's good.
Well, good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
Back up to you, Joel and Kurt.
All right, Kirsten, on that last play, a sack for Aptos puts Santa Cruz in trouble. It's 3rd and long from the 34. Anderson rolls left. A little dump pass in front of him to Kamahaho, who's drilled out of bounds inside the 30. So no question, you got to go for it here. It'll be 4th and long for Santa Cruz. So effectively, Kurt, the game hangs in the balance right here.
I would agree with you on that one. And I'll tell you one thing. Anderson has to take Whitmore out for a burger after that one, because Whitmore threw a great block to keep Bennett, number 78, off his quarterback's back and allowing him to complete the pass. You've got 4th down and 8. Yeah, I'll agree with you. Huge play. Maybe the one that puts this game in the balance.
Ball at the 28 of Aptos. They need to get in just inside the 20 for that first down, do the Cardinals. Anderson rolls right. He's got time. Who's he going to throw to? It's going to be Hunter again, and he's open. Jared Hunter out of bounds at about the 5-yard line. So the Cardinals, they're leaning on the edge there. They're hanging by a thread, but they continue to get the big play when they need it. Hunter did it again. It's 1st and goal at the 5, 3:47 to go.
As long as you've got the athletes out there like Hunter, like Anderson, and Anderson showed me tremendous composure. Rolling out, waiting, and bearing down on him was number 24, Dan Stevens, who's coming from the backside, and he had this quarterback all lined up. There you see number 24. He's got him in his sights. But Anderson, very cool, very calm. You can see another Mariner coming up. And somehow or another, I don't know how you lose Hunter, but they did it that time.
Anderson on the bootleg. He goes a little dump pass, and it's deflected. Nice play that time by Justin Beezert, who's also the man who made the sack 2 plays ago. So ball falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 5.
I'll say Beezert's got to step up and do that to your linebackers. Now, different blitz packages, but when you blitz, that really puts the heat on your secondary, your safeties and your corners. They're going to have to be able to cover and do a good job. And if you are blitz, you better get to where you're going. You better get that quarterback.
It appeared initially as if Anderson would have room to run, but Beezer closed quickly. Second and goal, ball just outside the 5. 2 receivers split right for Anderson. Man in motion is Concepcion, and they give it to him. He's almost dragged down, but he breaks free. Tries to get out to the left side, gets a block from Anderson, and he'll score. Danny Concepcion on a great second effort. Got a block from, of all people, the quarterback. And the Cardinals now trail 36-27, 3:34 to go.
Wow, what can you say about Concepcion? Stevens hit him in the backfield and had him, and it looked like the rest of the Mariners were going to have young Mr. Concepcion for dinner, or at least a late dessert one way or another, but he kept his feet, broke away from Stevens. There was just nobody over there on the left-hand side, and he scampered in. Wow, what a huge play.
Well, Kurt, at some point they'll have to go for 2, and it appears as if they're going to do it here. Anderson's still in the game. And here's the look at the touchdown, and what an effort by Concepcion, and then watch the block by Anderson.
You can see that Stevens actually had him. See Anderson on the far side, steps up, does a great job of throwing that last block on the defender on that side, and Concepcion goes in untouched.
And they do go for 2. Anderson keeps it, looks right side, a jump pass into the corner. He's got a man, Ruben Miller, and we'll get a penalty on top of it for a late hit. 2 late hits. 1 in the end zone, 1 on Anderson. Momentum clearly on the Cardinals side. It's 36-29, and we've got a ball game.
This game is turning out real entertaining. So that's Steve Orozco and the rest of the court. And His Majesty will probably come up with a decision of we'll move it down from the kickoff, advance it down 10 yards. So now here's your decision, Coach. Do you kick it deep and say defense, hold them, or do you try and do that onside kick and hope you're going to be able to return it?
I kick it deep, try a turnover or something like that, and we've got roughing the passer, and they're going to decline that because I think they're going to get another one. I thought they would enforce it on the kickoff. Okay, here's
the other. We got another one.
Penalties.
Late hit in the end zone, and they'll enforce that one on the kickoff.
Yeah, I thought I saw that right, Kurt. I saw Miller get drilled as he caught the pass, and then I saw Anderson get drilled after he'd thrown it. So
a lot of people, there's a lot of short tempers out there. Now, there's one thing that's in Santa Cruz's favor. They've tried 2 onside kicks this season, and they've got them both. So the odds are in their favor.
Or against them.
No, let's be positive.
What are the odds that they go 3 for 3?
Odds, you never know.
We'll get the mathematicians up here to tell us what they
see. I didn't know. No. Physical education and communicate, that was it. Math was a dirty 4-letter word when I was in college.
All right, folks, let's reset the situation for you now. 3:34 to go. Aptos with a 7-point lead. And after this penalty that we just described to you, the Cardinals will kick off from the 45. So now that penalty becomes huge because they can go for an onside. And even if it's unsuccessful, they'll still have Aptos in relatively deep field position. It's not like they'll have it at the 50.
No, that's true. And you're looking at the Aptos lineup as if the receiving team, nothing but running backs and receivers. You don't see a 50, a 70, lot, 4s and 20s and 80s, 30s. They're the guys that are supposed to catch.
And Kurt, while you're looking at their side, I'm looking at the Cardinal Red side, and I see big number 1 out there, Jared Hunter. So if the kicker could somehow pop it in the air and make it a jump ball, we know who will win that matchup.
Oh, man.
So we'll see what happens here. Intensity mounts at Santa Cruz High School. The game of the week has been a doozy. 36-29 Aptos. 3:34 to go, and we'll see about the onside. There it is. They kick it. I don't know what that was.
Well, it was interesting no matter what it was.
I'd call it strange. It appeared as if they wanted to do some sort of squib, but the Cardinals, the rest of the team, didn't know that it was coming. Anyways, that's hindsight, folks. The situation is this. 1st and 10 Aptos, ball at their own 24. Santa Cruz has 2 timeouts remaining. to stop the clock. Do they have 2-minute warning in high school?
No, they don't have that.
Okay, so no 2-minute warning, so they've got 2 timeouts here. And now the onus falls on the Cardinal defense to try and make this a game. Under center for Aptos, it's Kyle Van der Zanden as the quarterback rotation continues. He's got 2 backs behind him, Wagner and Stevens. Van der Zanden gives to Stevens left side, and he's drilled right away. Number 12, Luke Wetmore, he does it all. He showed it there. It'll be 2nd and long.
And a little bit of a blitz package as we watched Luke just step up from his backer position. The line did their job. They cleaned up, but they didn't get to the backer. And here comes number 12 to introduce himself a little bit to the running back. And there's big number 12 right in the picture. Watch this. You step up and you just lay some hardwood on it. They used to say lay the leather on it when everything was made out of leather. Now it's just hard plastic, folks.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. Ball at the 25. Clock winds inside. 3 minutes to go. Van der Zanden gives to Stevens once again. Right side, breaks 1 tackle, tries to get out left side and does. 30-35, across the 35. Bull rushes his way to the 40 and a late flag. So we'll see what that's all about, but no matter what that flag ends up being, still an impressive effort by Stevens.
He did a great job of cutting to daylight, running into his own man, or he could have gone a little bit farther. From where it is, you've got 2 guesses: face mask or holding. Then the face mask obviously be when you get so many hands in the cookie jar that one of them may have ended up on that bird cage. There's a shot of the Aptos Mariners bench. Mark Dorfman over there, Bill Garrison. Great combination of coaches. Now, Mark Dorfman may be one of the greatest recruiters I've ever met in my entire life. Mark's over there on the left. He's got the glasses gleaming into the lights. He's the track coach, and I have never seen more students on a track team than I have ever seen when AT&T gets the opportunity to go over and do the SCCAL track and field. I get the biggest kick of seeing the Mariners come out there because they've got everybody. Those kids have a good time. Good job by Mark Dorfman to do that. And recruiting and keep that program alive.
And Kurt, while you were telling that story, a huge penalty here. Personal foul against Santa Cruz, so it appears as if they did get the face mask, as you surmised. And as a result, Aptos will have a 1st down in Cardinal territory. So just a crucial penalty. It's all the way down to the 43. So mistakes are really hurting them here.
Now everything's in Aptos' favor because Santa Cruz is going to have to burn timeouts or go for a turnover.
Van der Zanden has Zach Moody behind him. 1st and 10. Samples in motion. Gives to Samples on a sweep. He waits for the blocks to develop. Squirts through. Gets to the sideline. And now it's a race. Spins against the grain. Hunter drills him, but not before another 1st down. So Aptos, their goal was to run out the clock. And with the aid of Santa Cruz's defense and now that run, it appears as if they're going to do it.
I'll tell you, you want to talk about getting drilled. Yes, Hunter drilled Sam, knocked his helmet off. So that big horse, Hunter, can really do it. There's the tail of the tape. You just saw that one, Hunter, number 3 over on the sidelines. But that was a great job by Samples just to wait and see, let his backs do his thing, and then turn it up the field.
And it appears as if we've got a holding penalty on the play. As you take a look at the replay, Samples doing a great job of finding daylight, and then he tried to spin back against Hunter, but while he did it, I think there was a hold because the ball's at the 33. It should have been down inside the 20. Here's a misdirection to Wagner. He falls across the 30 as the clock winds towards 2 minutes to go. It'll be 2nd and long.
Now let's get those big war horses up in front, just to fire straight out, make sure they maintain their blocks. That's the secret is offensive line play. Fire out, engage the guy in front of you, and maintain your blocks. And late in the 4th quarter with a $150 and counting, that gets harder and harder to do because you're tired.
We'll likely see the Cardinals use one of their timeouts after this play if they can successfully stop the Mariner offense. 1:40 to go. Van der Zanden puts a man in motion. That's pin. And there's a penalty, and that's the break they needed because that'll stop the clock as well as back them up. So,
again, penalties. Oh, man, in stereo now, folks, on the downbeat. Penalties. Something that you work on in practice a lot is when to go on what count. And the Aptos Mariners have had a tough time doing that this evening. And there's a great example of how to shoot yourself in the foot.
2nd and 7 becomes 2nd and 12. Ball at the 35. Clock starts now with 1:30 now remaining. Again, it's pin in motion. Fake, and instead they go fullback opposite way. That's Wagner, and he's still got room. He's still up. He's dragging tacklers down inside the 20 to the 15, and that should effectively do it as Aptos gets another first down at the Cardinal 15, 1:16 to go.
Well, Wagner doing a great job. I'll tell you, this kid is really tough. Number 34, Wagner. And that was just a little bit of delay, and that was a nice job by the quarterback. Kyle doing a fine job. There's Hunter, and he's been laying some wood. Watch this. Little bit of delay, fullback on a misdirection, just a little counter, and he is just picking up some sweet blocks down the field by the lineman. Finally, the big quarterback, Jim Anderson, rolls him down, and it is another wicked hit coming in. But you get everything going to the right. You got the quarterback coming up, almost a Statue of Liberty type of a play. Give it to your fullback. Well done, well-designed play.
And certainly gratifying for Joe Wagner, who, as you recall, had that long run near the end of the first half before being stripped from behind by Hunter. Perhaps he felt that that would be a costly turnover, but he may have just iced the game here. We've got 1:16 to go. Cardinals now with just one timeout, and I'm sure the strategy now from the Santa Cruz side of the ball will be look to strip that sucker to force a turnover, because that's pretty much their only hope. And it's a fumble. Cardinals recover. Oh my, what a huge play. Sunzeri had the ball, a miscommunication, and Santa Cruz has needed breaks throughout the night, and just when it looks like the door's been shut in their face, they find a way to keep that toe in there. So now here it is, folks. 1:11 to go. Cardinal ball at their own 20. They have one timeout remaining. And oh my.
Well, it's still baseball season, my friend, and I'm going to use it. It's not over until the clock runs to all zeros. What a big turnover.
4 receivers for Anderson. Lone back Wetmore. Man in motion, Kamahaho. Anderson rolls left. He looks for Kamahaho, but the pass was tipped at the line. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And there was a lot of celebration. Looked like Ryan McHenry, number 50, the way he was bouncing out of there, he might have gotten a paw on that one. Now's when you're going to want to see a big push from that front 5 of the Aptos Mariner defense, pushing into the backfield. Now, we've noticed all afternoon long that Anderson's got this moving pocket, rolling to one side or another. It's obvious that if he just was a drop-back quarterback, they couldn't stay in the pocket. That's too much beef coming up the middle for the Mariners.
3 receivers right, including 6'5" Jared Hunter. Miller now splits left. Anderson rolls right. He's going to throw the jump ball to Hunter. He's out there, and oh, the pass is incomplete. I believe Aaron August may have got a hand in there at the last second. Otherwise, we were looking at a tie game.
Well, Hunter had him beat by maybe a stride to a stride and a half, and that ball was just slightly underthrown. And you're right, that allowed August, number 87, to catch up just enough to get that hand in there and knock the ball away. But we're right back at it.
3rd and 10 now, 1:02 to go. Cardinals need a big play. 4 receivers again for Anderson. Lone back Wetmore. He's going to throw it up to Hunter again, and he's open again. A diving attempt. Spectacular attempt by Jared Hunter. Pass was just a little too wide. So now here's the game, folks. It'll be 4th and 10, and it appears as if Hunter may be shaken up.
And we got this. Anderson back to pass. He's locking on his main man, and that's Hunter. He's got Hunter. Hunter really fights for the ball, but he was doing a little bit too much bumping and running, I think, with August here on the near sidelines. Hunter is just flat out of gas at about the 48-yard line right below us. So the Cardinals, with 4th down, are going to be doing it without number 1 unless the old Superman can get that kryptonite out of his system and back into ball game.
Someone else is going to have to step up for Santa Cruz. Jared Hunter won't be the one on this play. 4th and 10, ball at the 20. Anderson, and before the play is snapped, oh, and another penalty, and that's going to be huge. A big mistake by the biggest man on the field, Steve Norton, ripping the face mask of Jim Anderson after the play had been blown dead. And what happens here, Kurt? Offsetting normally, but it was a 5-yard false start, a 15-yard personal foul. How's Mr. Roscoe going to break this one down?
Yeah, this was the one I wish I could pull out my official playbook. We may go backwards 5 and then forwards again the amount of the personal foul, and I guarantee you one thing. Dead ball foul. Okay, there's that one. Another dead ball foul, face mask. So we go backwards 5, then forwards, first down. And you know what? Come Monday, when these teams hit the practice field again, the word discipline and poise, those 2 words will be used a lot.
The Cardinals again have life, folks. It's amazing. They are like the proverbial cat. They've had about 9 lives tonight. 54 seconds to go. 1st and 10, ball at their own 30. 4 receivers again for Anderson, who's got time. He's going to throw the bomb this time to Miller. He's got a step, and oh, in and out of the hands of Reuben Miller. And just like that, it'll be 2nd and 10. Aptos avoids one there.
I'll tell you, they've been dodging some bullets, and it's great corner play by Aaron August. 5'11", 165-pounder who is going stride for stride with these receivers. Hunter at one time, at that time it was Miller, and the last couple times we've watched August just barely to get that hand in there to knock the ball away. Ball in hand at the same time. I mean, that's just flat good cornerback play.
He doubles as a receiver, so he knows what to do on both sides of the ball in that situation. Meanwhile, Hunter back in for the Cardinals on 2nd and 10. 4 receivers for Anderson. He's going to throw deep. It's the same thing. Hunter, this time they read it. Dan Stevens with a pick, and he's got real estate. 35-30, out of bounds. And they went to the well perhaps once, too often did the Cardinals. Dan Stevens back there playing safety, just camped under it. And Hunter couldn't get there in time to do anything about it.
Well, that time the safeties who were in a cover too, but they were in a real prevent defense. They started out close to the line of scrimmage, and they walked off the line of scrimmage, and Stevens, and I know what his assignment was supposed to be right from the snap. Make sure you are deeper than any other receiver on the field on your side, and he was. And the ball was overthrown for one of probably the rare times we've seen here today, and right into number 24's mitts. Huge break for the Mariners. Just a great game. I mean, this has been a well-played football game.
Well, on a normal night, Kurt, we would say it's probably over. This game tonight has been anything but. Vanderzenden back to take a knee. The Cardinals, will they use their last time out? It appears as if they won't. So Bassel Faltas seems content to just let this thing run out. His kids have given a great effort, and we didn't really talk about it much, Kurt, but Aptos has really had the Cardinals numbered. This will be their 10th win in the last 11 matches, their 8th in a row. And, of course, Bassel Faltas got his first job at Aptos under Bill Garrison. He looks at Bill really as a mentor, as someone who he's indebted to. And for some reason, somehow, some way, Coach Garrison has the Cardinals number. And before they let the clock run out, your man Orozco wants to make him, well, we've got a false start. Hey, how fitting that we have another penalty.
Well, you might as well. I mean, it's been a penalty-filled ball game. So now all Kyle's going to have to do is snap it, kneel, and we put this one in the record books.
And he does. So that'll do it, folks. The final Aptos 36, Santa Cruz 29. A well-played, high-spirited game. We enjoyed it. We hope you did as well. And before we wrap up the game, we'll quickly thank our sponsors to help make this AT&T Game of the Week possible. First of all, we thank Scarborough Lumber. Also, big thanks to Whiting's Foods on the Boardwalk and to Cardiff Pest Control. Thanks also to Bailey Properties, to Spa Fitness Centers, and to the Grocery Outlet, Seacliff Inn, Best Western, and finally, King's Paint and Paper. I'd also like to thank our crew here tonight who did a wonderful job bringing you the sights and sounds of this game. Our producer and director, Will Anderson, replay technician, Rick Yabata, our camera people, Kat Thrasher, Kerry Rognaby, and Jack Benson, technical assistance from Roger Ewell, our sideline reporter tonight, Kirsten Fairchild, and as I turn now to my color man, Kurt Edwards, to sum this up, we got our money's worth tonight, Kurt.
Everybody that turned in, you missed any of this on a Monday, come back and get it on a Wednesday. Great offensive explosion for both of these teams. Defense, special teams, you name it, it was here. Whale of a high school football game.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for us. Aptos High has come into Santa Cruz and run their record to 2-0. They defeat the Cardinals 36-29. For my color man, Kurt Edwards, this is Joel Domhoff. Thanks again for joining us on the AT&T Game of the Week.
The 17th season of the Game of the Week is brought to you by AT&T Broadband and KRUZ Channel 4 Sports.
Hey, check this out.